In the beginning of the story, our main character says, "My name is Martial God Z1. I'm one of the 4 Supreme Emperors of this world. We 4 Supreme Emperors had taken the reins of this world, and the amazing thing is, we were all very good friends. To be honest, friends is too small a word. We were brothers to each other, or perhaps it was just me who considered them my brothers. It was on this trust that I told them my biggest secret. I was about to have a breakthrough and become the strongest. My intention was that if I became powerful, all of our powers would increase. But what I was thinking wasn't what everyone else was thinking. The day I was having my breakthrough and was at my weakest point, my 3 friends attacked me together. That's when I understood that he was absolutely right when he said that betrayal is its nature. The one who gives it is someone close to you. I destroyed my soul and eliminated 2 of them, but 1 still survived. And I dropped the last piece of this soul into the body of a man who had just been buried. Now, I can see in his memories that this man was killed for no reason. His name is Leon Lionheart, the illegitimate son of the Lionheart family. Because he was an illegitimate son, he lived a miserable life. The girl he liked always rejected him, and in the end, this poor boy was killed for no reason. To be honest, this boy's life was without any value, but now that I am in his body, his destiny and my destiny are one. Lionheart's enemies are now my enemies. My very first target is to eliminate Leon's enemies. I will always remember one thing, never to keep anyone at my level. No matter how strong I became, I trusted people and worked with them, and perhaps that was the mistake that got me killed, despite being the strongest. Now I have decided that I will rule over people. People shouldn't have the courage to even look me in the eye, let alone betray me. And I will do all this not as Master God Jin, but as Leon Lionheart. My friends sitting in that universe, wait for me and clean your necks, because your heads will be cut off by my hands. Then, our main character, Lun, is on his way back home when he sees a girl being harassed by some men. We see that this girl is Yulin, the daughter of a maid from the Lenhart family. Yulin is pleading, "Leave me alone, I'm from the Lenhart family." The man in front of her responds, "We know which family you belong to, and we also know what you came out to do in the middle of the night. You want us to play with you for a while, and I'll definitely fulfill that wish of yours." Yulin says, "Let me go. I'm trying to find my young master." The man replies, "Young master? Are you talking about that trash Lun Lenhart? He's probably passed out drunk somewhere. Anyway, he's an illegitimate son of the Lenhart family. You won't get anything by staying with him. Come with me, I can give you an amazing life. And you know what you'll have to give me in return, right?" Yulin stumbles back and asks, "What are you trying to do?" The man with a smile says, "I'm just doing what you came out to do in the middle of the night." Just then Lun arrives and says, "Some scumbags are harassing a girl in the middle of the night. If you enjoy harassing people so much, why don't you bother someone your own size?" A man steps in front of Lun and says, "So, are you my size? I can crush an insect like you in 2 minutes. Get out of here." Meanwhile, a relieved Yulin exclaims, "Young master, you're finally here." The guy with yellow hair says, "This is that bastard Lun Lenhart. I know this guy is very weak, brothers. Break his arms and legs and throw him to the side. His family members won't dare to mess with our Jack family for him." As they step forward, the thugs say, "We'll do this job with pleasure. It's so fun to crush these ants who don't know their place." Just then, Lion kicks one of them, knocking him out, and lifts another one up, saying, "So, are these chicks going to cut off my hands and feet? They can't get the job done. Send someone powerful. And if you can't, then be ready to get beaten." The trembling yellow-haired guy says, "My cousin's name is Brother Jang. If I call him, he'll wipe out your entire lion family. Before I call him, I'm giving you a chance to run away." Right then, Lion picks up one of the thugs and throws him on top of the yellow-haired guy. Lion says, "Why do you keep mentioning Jung's name? Can't you do it yourself? If you can't, then get out of here and go to your master who gives you biscuits." Then Lion says to Yulin, "Are you okay? I'm sorry you had to come out in the middle of the night because of me." Yulin hugs Lion and says, "Brother, I'm so happy to see you safe. You hadn't been home for 2 days, and I was so worried." Looking at Yulin, Lion thinks, she has an immortal body. If I help her cultivate properly, she can become very powerful. Lion says, "Yulin, don't worry at all. From now on, I will protect all of you. Let's go home." Yulin says, "But brother, the patriarch is waiting for you at home. Shouldn't you go meet him first?" Lion thinks, "The patriarch? That means Lion's dad. He's the only person in the whole Lion family who cares about Lion, but I don't think it would be a good idea to go there right now." Lion says, "I'll meet Dad later. Let's go to our place first." After watching them leave, the guy with the yellow hair says, "You did the absolutely wrong thing, Lionheart. Today you messed with the wrong person. Now you'll see how I dig your grave. Then, on a call, he says, Brother Jang, I was bullied. And you know who hit me? None other than that scumbag Lionheart. He slapped me on the face and said that if you were in my place, he would have slapped you too. He also said that in front of him, you're worth less than a dog. If the world finds out about this, people will laugh at you. In shock, Jiang Wei says, What kind of drugs are you on? You're saying Lionheart hit you? If he hit you right now, then where is he? The guy with the yellow hair says, He was going home to Tian Mansion. Jiang hangs up the call and says, I gave them just one job, and those idiots couldn't even do that one thing right. But just a while ago, they sent me a photo of Lion buried in the ground. So how is this scumbag alive and back? Fine, if he's back alive, I'll bury him again myself. Then he calls his men and says, Get ready, that scumbag Lion survived. We're going to Tian Mansion to dig that bastard's grave. The scene changes to Tian Mansion. We see that Yulin has brought Lion to her home. Yulin's mom says, Young master, please have a seat. I'll get you some tea. Lion says, Auntie, you're not well. You don't need to work so hard. I can do these small things myself. The aunt says, Truly, young master, no matter what this world says about you, I have never seen a person as kind as you. People call you a fool because of your kindness, but you truly are a very good person at heart. Until then, Zhang Yi, with his men, comes outside of Tian and Mansa's place. Zhang Yi says, That Leon lives here with a few servants. You can kill whoever you want. All the responsibility is on me. Just make sure that Leon survives. Leon is sitting when Zhang Yi enters his house. Zhang Yi says, Young Master Leon, I didn't think I'd find you here. Leon says, This is my house, so of course I'd be here. But how dare you bring your dogs and enter my house? It seems you didn't read the note outside my house that says, Zhang Yi and dogs have no place in this house. Zhang Yi says, What did young Master Leon Hart just say? I couldn't hear him. The young Master Leon who used to wet his pants just by seeing me, and now look how much he's bragging. Leon says, Yulin, go inside to the auntie and take care of her. In the meantime, I'll handle these fools. Leon says, I gave you guys a lot of chances before, but as they say, there's no use playing a flute in front of a buffalo. I don't want to waste my time. Hurry up, come get your beating and leave. Zhang Yi says, Go forward, finish this scoundrel. But we see that in a little while, Leon has beaten everyone up. Zhang Yi says, Brother Leon, why are you upset? Here, drink some tea and let's end this matter. Leon says, I've made you sit on my body. Is that okay with you? Zhang Yi says, It's an honor for me to sit at your feet. Leon says, Look, you tried to provoke me by coming to my house. This is a very big mistake. Tell me, what punishment should I give you? Zhang Yi says, To calm your anger, I can give you $300,000. Leon says, Not a penny less than 2 million. If you want a bargain here, you can. But in return, I'll only break one watch. You can't leave here until the money comes. And if the money doesn't come within 1 hour, you will leave, but on 4 shoulders. As he's kicking his men, he says, Get to my house immediately and tell my dad to transfer the money. Brother Zheng says, Brother, the money will be here in 2 minutes. Lin says, It better be. You're talking to me from a lower position, and my neck is starting to hurt. Then Zheng Bai presses a gun to his neck and says, Let me press it for you. Doing all these things is a small matter for me. I can do anything for you. Just then, 2 million are transferred to Lin's phone. Lin says, Get out of here without looking back. And remember, this money offer was a one-time thing. If you make the same mistake again, you won't be forgiven. Gang Bai says, After today's beating, I'll never make a mistake like this again. As they leave, Gang says, This Lin used to be a complete coward. When did he get so brave? A guy standing next to him says, Brother Gang, should we call all our men? If we have more men, maybe we can defeat them. Gang slaps him and says, Even if you have 100 men, you won't be able to do anything to him. I'll figure out how to deal with this. I don't need you idiots. The scene changes to the Zheng mansion. We see Zheng Yua, who is Gang Bai's sister and Lin's crush. Yua says, Where did Gang Bai go in such a hurry in the middle of the night? He's a complete idiot. I hope he doesn't get into any trouble. The butler says, The young master just got beaten up and probably had to pay 2 million to escape. Yua says, Considering my brother's actions, getting beaten up is a very normal thing. Anyway, leave that aside. I heard that the young miss of the Wei family is coming here. Do you know when she'll arrive in the city? Yua thinks to herself, Wujia Feng, she's the only granddaughter of the Wei family. If we can somehow build good relations with her, we can benefit a lot. The butler says, Miss Wei will arrive tomorrow at 8 a.m. and will be in the city for 3 days. She's visiting our Yadong first. Yua says, Okay, I'll meet her tomorrow no matter what. On the other side, we see Lin, who is telling Yulin that she can sleep peacefully now because no one will come to cause any trouble. Yulin says, "But brother, I'm really scared." Lin says, "Don't worry. If you don't sleep, I'm not going anywhere." Lin thinks to himself, "I thought that after I arrived, at least I would have one peaceful day, but it looks like this life won't be peaceful at all. I can't just sit here like this. Tomorrow, I'll go look for some alchemists. Until I can heal my leg, I won't be able to defeat my enemies." The next day, the scene shifts to the Yadong market. We see Miss Wu walking through the market with her Uncle Chen. Just then, she sees a large crowd gathered ahead of them. Miss Wu says, "I want to see what's going on over there." Meanwhile, Yuva thinks to herself, "The fish has been caught in the net. I knew that if I gathered a crowd here, she would definitely come on her own." Then, approaching Miss Wu, Yuva says, "It's so nice to meet you. I didn't think I would run into Miss Wu today." Just then, Uncle Chen says, "Our young miss doesn't talk to just anyone, so please, miss, go on your way." Yuva says, "Miss Wu, do you remember meeting me 3 years ago? Since you're in my city, Yadong, how would you like for me to show you around?" Miss Wu says, "You're a local here and you must know a lot about this place. If you're so keen on being our free guide, then fine, you can be our guide." On the other side, we see Lin and Yulin, who have also come to the same market. While walking, Lin thinks to himself, "Most of the stuff here is fake. They just paint them to look old so they seem precious." Just then, Lin's eyes fall on a pendant from which an incredible amount of spiritual energy is emanating. Lin says, "What's the price of this pendant?" The shopkeeper says, "If you were to buy this from a big store, it would cost at least 5 million, but since it's with me, I will easily give it to you for 1,000 nian. Then, Lin buys the pendant from him. Miss Wu looks at the pendant and says, "This pendant is so beautiful, isn't it? But what is its price?" Leon says, "I have already bought it, so there is no use in you knowing its price." Yu thinks to herself, "How is Leon alive? I heard Brother Zheng talking yesterday saying that he had an attack on Leon and killed him. Does this mean Brother Zheng was just bragging?" Yu says, "Mr. Leonhardt, I am ready to give you 500,000 wen for this pendant. Please give it to our Miss Wu." Leon walks away and says, "No, I am not selling it. Not even for 500,000 wen, not even for 5 million wen. I am not giving it." Looking at Leon, Miss Wu says, "That man was so elegant, wasn't he? We were willing to give him 500,000 wen for something he bought for 1,000 wen, but he didn't even look at us and left after refusing." Then Uncle Chen says, "Miss, if you like it so much, you will definitely get it. There is no one in this world who can take something that our miss likes." Then Uncle Chen goes in front of Leon and says, "Young man, please stop." Leon says, "A little while ago you were trying to buy it, and when you failed to buy it, you are trying to steal it. Look, I am making it clear to you that I am not selling it." Uncle Chen says, "First listen to me, and then you will definitely change your mind. I am ready to give you 5 million wen for this pendant." Hearing this, everyone is shocked. Everyone says, "A 1,000 wen thing is selling for 5 million wen in front of us. This person's luck has really opened up." The shopkeeper cries, "I have been robbed." Leon walks away and says, "I am not going to sell it. I refused earlier, but you still asked. There is no use in you wasting your breath in front of me." Then Uncle Chen says, "If you are not selling it, you cannot leave here either." Leon says, "Yulin, you go home. I will fix these people's minds in a while." As Uncle Chen gets ready, he speaks, "I gave you a chance, kid. Now because of you, I have to take this by force. Today you're going to learn a very big lesson in life. You should put your hand in every hole, because not every hole has a rat, some have snakes, and you've messed with a dragon." With that, he lunges forward to attack Lan. The men around them say, "That guy seems like a very powerful martial artist. This young kid isn't going to make it." Just then, Lan stops his finger right at Uncle Chen's throat. Lan says, "It's true that we shouldn't put our hands in every hole, but only those who can handle both rats and dragons have the courage to reach into those holes. Look at you. You're just an inch away from your own death. If you had moved an inch more, this finger would have gone right through your throat." Uncle Chen is terrified and stammers, "Sir, who are you? Please forgive me. I didn't recognize you because of your young appearance. Please forgive this junior's mistake just this once." Meanwhile, Miss Wu says, "I've never seen Uncle Chen so scared before. Even as a grandmaster, he's terrified. Who is this kid and what's his background?" "His name is Lan Lionheart, the illegitimate son of the Lionheart family," Yuhua says. Miss Wu replies, "Whatever he is, he's incredible. You rarely meet people this interesting." Uncle Chen says, "I don't want the pendant anymore. May I leave now?" Just then, Lan's phone rings. It's Yulin. She's sobbing. "Young master, I was on my way home and these people grabbed me and are taking me to line. Please, young master, hurry. I'm so scared." Then Lan hears the sound of slapping over the phone. Lan thinks, the hands that slapped her won't be spared today. Uncle Chen tries one last time. I'm a disciple of the Zhangyi clan. You must know Master Xuan, he's a very famous martial artist. May I ask your master's name? Lan turns away and says, I don't have time to waste with you. If you try to stop me again, you won't be able to say anything next time. Frightened, Uncle Chen thought, this kid's words have so much power that it feels like my death is standing right in front of me. If it were anyone else in my place, they would have probably wet their pants under so much pressure. Meanwhile, Miss Wu says, Uncle Chen, hurry up and get the car. We can't let go of such an interesting person. Then she walks up to Lion and says, we've wasted a lot of time. Please, get in our car. We'll drop you off at your place. As they get in the car, Lion says, I insulted you so much in the big market and still you're helping me? Miss Wu replies, to be honest, my life is very boring. And in this boring life, you seem like a very interesting person, which is why I'm helping you. Meanwhile, because of Lian Har, Miss Wu leaves Yu Hua behind. Yu Hua says, today I had such a good opportunity to get on Miss Wu's good side. Lian, you snatched this chance from me. Oh well, I know where they're going. I can win Miss Wu over again from there. Touching Lion's body, Miss Wu says, your body is quite amazing. Lion replies, I don't like these kinds of jokes, so keep your hands to yourself. Further ahead, we see the Lion Mansion. A bodyguard stops Lion and says, our young master has said that there is no place for a lion and dogs in this house. Lion then beats up the bodyguards and says, now I will listen to you guys. Miss Wu says, Uncle Chen, he is much more powerful than you. Uncle Chen replies, if I were more powerful than him, would I have begged him in the big market? Inside, we see the young master of the Lion Mansion, Lei, who is shouting, Yulin, it seems you have forgotten that you are a maid in this house. I heard that we had a fight with the Yang family because of you. It seems you have forgotten your place. Because of you, that Leon offended the Yang family. Do you want to destroy our family? Yulin says, but they came to attack our house. The young master only defended himself. He didn't do anything else. Pulling Yulin's hair, Lei says, I'll have to make you understand that there is only one young master in this house and he is not the young master. He is a stain on this house. It seems the slap wasn't enough to knock some sense into you. Now I will beat you so much that you will forget not only that lion's name, but your own name as well. Lion approaches Lei and says, just lay a hand on him, and I'll beat you so badly that only one gang master will be left in this family. Lei slaps Lion and says, I laid a hand on him, so what? Now do whatever you want. What's a little chick like you gonna do coming to my house and threatening me? Lean steps forward and uses a farm attack on Lei, which breaks Lei's arm. Lean says, you're lucky our dads are the same, or instead of a slap, your throat would be gone. All the members of the Laner family start shouting at Lean. They all say, we knew your intentions weren't good, but we didn't know they were this bad. You should be thrown out of the Laner family right now. Suddenly, the temporary head of the family, Grandpa Leanheart, arrives. Grandpa says, you've learned a couple of tricks from outside and now you think you're some big shot? So what if your dad isn't here? I am. If you act like this again, Leon, it won't be good for you either. A doctor comes over and says, the young master's arm is fractured. Lei shouts, Grandpa, he attacked me while you were here. This shows that he doesn't care about your presence and that you have no standing in his eyes. I'm not as upset about my broken arm as I am about your humiliation. Lei thinks, now I've riled up this old man. The best part is, this old man is a half-step grandmaster. There's no way Leon is getting away now. Grandpa, now furious, says, Leon, get on your knees right now. You're going to be punished according to family rules. And after making such a huge mistake, you're still staring at me? Where is your fear? Leon says, when I stood face to face with death, I wasn't scared. So why would I be afraid of your 4 words? And about getting on my knees, I won't do it on my own. And you don't have what it takes to bring me to my knees yourself. Grandpa was saying, that's exactly right. You've become too cocky. It seems I'll have to show you why I was the formal head of the Lion family. Just then, Uncle Chan arrived and said, Grandpa, I'd like to advise you not to take another step. Those next 4 steps you take could be the last steps of your life. Grandpa asked, who are you? How dare you interfere in the affairs of the Lion family? Chan replied, my name is Chan, and I belong to the Yanbei Wu family. Grandpa thought to himself, he's ranked 43rd on the dragon list. What is such a powerful martial artist doing in my house? From what I know, he's the bodyguard for the Wu family's young miss. Wait a minute, does that mean this girl is none other than Miss Wu? Just then, Miss Wu stepped forward in front of Lei and said, I admit that I don't belong to your family, but there's something I still need to say. The other family members said, Miss Wu, please come over here. It's a great honor for us to have you. Please say whatever you need to say at your own pace. We're all eagerly waiting to hear what you have to say. Lei thought to himself, why is Wu Yafeng here? As far as I know, Her family has a lot of property and she's the sole heiress. She's also quite beautiful. If I can win her over, I'll become the head of 2 major families. Then there will be no one in all of China who can stand against me. Miss Wu began to speak. In front of all the family members, Lei broke his stepbrother's arm and gravely insulted the formal head. A person like this has no right to be in the Wu family. Lei shouted, "Yes, Miss Wu is absolutely right. This piece of trash is a stain on our family's name. I say we should kill him right here and now." Miss Wu responded, "Leon has your family's bloodline. I'm sure there's no one here capable enough to even touch a hair on Leon's head, let alone kill him. The best thing we can do is to cast him out of the lion family. That way, you and Leon will have no further connection." Grandpa said, "Miss Wu is absolutely right. Leon, get on your knees and leave this family forever. From now on, you and we have no relationship." Lane said, "Look, I don't really care about you people anyway. I'm not going to get anything from your little family business. And as for trying to make me bow down, that's impossible. Anyone who wants to make me bow down here should be prepared to die." Grandfather said, "All right, let's see who's stronger." Uncle Chen said, "Grandfather, I'm advising you again. Don't fight him. No matter how strong a mouse is, a lion's cub can easily crush it. The difference between you and Lane is like that of a mouse and a lion. He may be young, but he's a grandmaster. You're talking about attacking him. To be honest, I can't do anything to him, and I'm very sorry to see that you kicked such a great talent out of your family a little while ago. Normally, our clan would also yearn to be acquainted with such people, and even after having such a big gem in your family, you kicked him out." All the members of the Landon family were shocked and said, "What? He's a grandmaster? Mr. Chen, you must be mistaken." Miss Wo laughed and said, "This is hilarious. I told them 2 things, and they broke all ties with Lane. I've seen a lot of fools, but I've never seen a family as foolish as this one before. If my Uncle Chen respects this person so much, they should have understood that there must be something special about him. Lane, even if the Landon family doesn't value you, the Wo family knows how capable you are. I sincerely offer you to join my family. We will provide you with everything the Lionheart family can't even give you in your dreams. Just join our family." After seeing all this, Yuva was also very shocked. Yuva thought, "How is this possible? Among all the people here, I'm the one who knows Lane best, and this is not the same Lane he used to be." Grandfather said, "Miss Wo, even if we said we have no connection, we still share the same blood, right? Just saying it doesn't end everything." Miss Wo said, "I'm not talking to a member of your family, so stay out of this matter, and if you interfere this time, I'll cut out your tongue and throw it away." Lean says, "Have you ever seen a leash on a lion? So what made you think you could put a leash on me? I'm not interested in you or your offer, miss." The miss says, "You're really arrogant." The grandpa, looking happy, says, "I knew it all along. Blood is thicker than water. Just because we had some misunderstandings doesn't mean our relationship is over." Leon thinks to himself, the real Lean was a fool, but even so, the Lion family never did anything bad to him. Even though they didn't like Lien, they had to give him everything Lei got because of his father. That's why I have no reason to destroy the Lion family. Lien says, "Look, from now on, you will never get involved in my matters. If you do that, then it's fine. I won't do anything against you." The grandpa says, "We have no problem. As long as the name Lion is behind your name, we will never get involved in your matters. And as the formal head of this family, I announce that the next head of this family will be Lien." Lien says, "Have you ever seen a lion leading a pack of hyenas? So what made you think I would lead a family of hyenas? I have no interest in being your head." Just then, the miss, nudges Lien. The miss says, "You're really interesting. I announce that you are my official boyfriend from today." Lien thinks to himself, "This girl is really strange, but she has a good heart. Even after I humiliated her at the market, she came all the way here to help me." Walking out, the miss says, "Uncle Chan, our Wu family has found their son-in-law today. Let's go to the entrance and wait for Lien." Seeing all this, Yua is completely shocked. Yua thinks, "This is the same boy I kept wrapped around my finger for years. I must have rejected him more than 100 times, and today, for some reason, I feel like I've lost something big." The miss says, "If everyone standing here is a fool, then you are the leader of all these fools. You didn't kick Lien away, you kicked your own luck. And if luck goes away once, it never comes back." Grandpa says happily, "Even if our Leon thinks of us as beggars, he's still one of us. I'm so happy our family got such an amazing genius. Leon, do what you want, however you want, but please, never change your surname. Even if we're so small that we can't do anything for you, if you ever need our help, just say the word." The rest of the family members say happily, "We thought our Leon was so amazing. So what if he's not sister-in-law's son? At least he has the brother's blood in him. And if Leon becomes the head, we have no problem with that either." Then Leon says as he leaves, "Okay, I'm going. Next time, Nobody bothers Yulin and her mom. Looking at Yuva, Leon thinks, what's so special about this girl that Leon was so into her? To be honest, she seems arrogant to me from every angle. Meanwhile, Yuva yells, Leon, I need to talk to you about something. Leon says, that's funny, isn't it? Before, I wanted to talk to you, but you never had time. And now you want to talk to me, but I don't have time for you. Hearing Leon's words, Yuva is completely shocked. She thinks, the guy who used to propose to me at least twice a day and ask me to the movies 3 times a day just rejected me and left. I don't know why, but I feel like this can't be Leon. Meanwhile, Yulin says, young master, you liked Miss Yuva so much, didn't you? Today she came to talk to you, so why did you reject her? Leon says, Yuva's luck is not good at all. To be honest, her future is going to be pretty bad. The more distance she keeps from me, the better it'll be for us. Yulin, always remember one thing in life. A person who can't speak up for themselves can't do anything in life. So, when you meet people like that, keep your distance. Yulin says, what exactly do you mean? Leon says, forget it, you won't understand. Just then, Miss Wu comes up to them and says, it seems you have a lot of time now. Can I talk to you for a bit? Yulin says, the young master found Miss Wu. She's very nice too. Then, Leon raises his hand and says, you're all over me. I can only be your friend and nothing more. Miss Wu says, well, at least you consider me a friend. You're the first person in the world that I like. Leon says, I'm from the Leon family, so given my family's reputation, there must be a lot of guys after you. So what is it about me that has you so interested? Miss Wu takes his phone from him. She says, I've saved my number in your phone. If you ever need anything from me, please just give me a call. With that, Miss Wu leaves. Yulin arrives and says, Leon, stop right there. Leon says, Yulin, you go outside and wait for me. I'll be there in a little while after I talk to her. Lei scoffs. One girl just threw me aside, and now there are 2 big shots fighting over this guy. What does this scoundrel have that I don't? I'm going to go talk to Miss Wu and get her favor. Then we'll see who becomes the real Aaron. Lei calls out, Miss Wu, wait a second. Miss Wu asks, what do you want now? Lei says, I heard that you're going to be staying in our city for a few days. How about you stay at our house? I can show you around the whole city. Miss Wu says, no, I don't want to stay at your house. I don't like taking favors from anyone. Lei says, I overheard your conversation with that scoundrel, Leon. To be honest, he's a worse and more useless person than I am. You won't find anyone like him in this whole city, which is why I'm telling you please don't stay with him. I admit I'm not that great, but he's even more worthless than me. Miss Wu, annoyed, says, you called Leon worthless? Lei says, I'm calling him worthless because he is. First of all, he doesn't even know who his own mother is. On one hand, you have me, whose lineage is right in front of you. But what do you know about him? Nobody knows that the blood of a dirty place is mixed in his body. Staying with a person like him could seriously ruin your name. Leon is just like a rotten apple that can spoil the whole basket of apples. If you have to choose someone from my family, I'm the best option for you. Miss Wu asks, what is so special about you that isn't in Leon? Lei says, first, all the flaws he has, I don't. Besides, I'm not a scoundrel. If you choose me, I will be sincere with you. Miss Wu turns to leave and says, I want a partner for myself, not a dog. If I wanted sincerity and loyalty, a dog would be much better than you. And you're showing how good you are right in front of me. You're slandering your own brother for a girl. A person who doesn't respect his own blood, how can he respect a girl? Uncle Genghis, he called Leon a scoundrel. Break his other hand too and teach him a lesson so that he never comes in front of me again. Lee says in a trembling voice. Please don't do this. I will never bother you all again. Uncle Chen says, I don't enjoy doing this either, but these are young Mrs. orders. I have to do this. Saying this, he breaks Lee's arm. The other family members come out saying, what happened here? Meanwhile, Lee is thinking, that bastard lion, you've taken everything from me. I used to have many chances to have you killed, but I let it go thinking you weren't in my way, so why would I have you killed? But now, because of you, I've had to suffer this humiliation, so you're not getting away with this, son. Miss Wu says, Uncle Chen, let's go. I'm not interested in the idiots of the Lan family. Uncle Chen also says, I have seen a lot of pathetic families, but I have never seen a more pathetic one than this. How can anyone discriminate so much among their own children? It seems this family is destined to be destroyed, and Lan will rise as the strongest family alone. Then Miss Wu calls her dad and says, I'm not coming back home this year. When I do come back, I will bring your son-in-law with me. On the other side, Yuva is saying to Lan, you didn't used to be like this. Lan says, if you want to talk about the past, I don't have time to listen to all that nonsense. Yuva says, what do you mean, Lan? You always used to say you liked me, but I ignored you all that time. Now that I am giving you attention, you're being rude. Lion says, There is a world of difference between the line you are talking about and the land standing in front of you. If you think this land will beg at your feet like in the past, then you can only dream. I thought you had something important to talk about, which is why I came to see you. How was I to know you would just waste my time? Then Yuva says, Lan, wait, can you arrange a meeting for me with Miss Wu? Yuva thinks, I am absolutely right. This is not the same lion at all. Ever since Zheng attacked him, he has completely changed. Lan says, you know, you ask for a favor by either humbling yourself a bit or by giving something in return. What makes you think I'll just agree to your request? Yuva says, you arrange a meeting for me with Miss Wu, and I will go out to dinner with you. If you want, we can watch a movie and go shopping. I will spend an entire day with you. Yuva thinks, he's waited for a very long time just to talk to me. I can guarantee he won't reject such an amazing offer. Lane says, I've never heard of such a lousy offer in my life. What kind of goddess are you that I'm supposed to have fun eating with you? And if you're going to talk nonsense like this again, don't call me. Yuva says, if you don't want this, then what do you want? Lane says, 10 million. Is that enough for one meeting with you? If you want a bargain, go talk to someone else. Yuva says, you're asking for too much. Lane says, I'm not holding a sword to your throat. I just named a price. If you want to pay it, do it. If not, don't. Anyway, for 10 million, you're getting a chance to connect with Miss Vo. If someone else had this opportunity, they would never pass it up. Miss Vo says, Lane, are you sure you want 10 million? Not a whole day with me? Lane says, what would I do spending a day with you? Honestly, your nonsense is driving me crazy. As Yuva leaves, she says, your money will be transferred in half an hour. When the meeting with Miss Vo is set, let me know. Yuva leaving says, Leanne, you're going to regret this. I gave you a great opportunity to come with me today. If you want to come with me in the future, I won't give you another chance. She also recalls how she had last told her dad not to make Jung brother the director, as he keeps causing problems and could bring losses to the company as a director. Jung brother's dad says, if I don't make him the director, then should I make you one? You're going to get married someday and then you won't be a director. That's why I don't give you any special Jung family business, because I don't even consider you part of my family. Yuva says, but Dad, I am your daughter. What difference does getting married make? I can work for you my whole life. Yuva's dad says, get out of here. There's no need to argue with me. As Yuva leaves, she says, I'll show you how capable I am, and then you'll realize what a big mistake you made by not making me the director. Yuva thinks to herself, just because I'm a girl, I never get a chance in the family. Whether it's Jaigve or Dad, they both hold me back by calling me a girl. If I get that family support, they won't be able to say that to me. Leonie is with Miss Wu. Leona asks, you haven't left yet? Miss Wu replies, it's quite difficult to find a taxi here, so let me drop you off. Miss Wu continues, by the way, I wasn't joking. What do you really think of me? Leone says, it takes me a lot of time to save people. And isn't my friendship enough for you? Miss Wu laughs and says, that's why you're so different from everyone else, and you're my favorite too. Just then, 10 million tums are credited to Leone's account. Miss Wu says, Yuva asked you to arrange a meeting between me and her. Leone asks, how do you know about this? Miss Wu replies, as soon as I saw Yuva, I knew she was desperate to make a place for herself and her family. Look, our Wu family is a very different kind of family. We don't discriminate between boys and girls, and that's why the true legacy of the family will be handed down to me. But even today, not all families think like us. Yuva thinks she can get the director's position based on her own ability, but that's never going to happen. And that's why she's trying to get the support of the Wu family. Leonie says, I believe that as long as you do things to prove yourself to others, you can't achieve anything. The day you think, I need to become better than myself, no one will be able to stop you. If Yuva is so capable, then why does she need the Zhang family's help? If she can transfer 10 million, she can also start a new business with 10 million. The reality is she also wants a share in her family, and that's why she's doing all this desperately. Miss Wu says, how can you be so clever? Look, I'm telling you again, become the son-in-law of my family. We will give you all of our family's property, and then you know, there will be no one in all of China who can stand against you. Pushing Miss Wu away, Leone says, how many times do I have to explain that I have no desire to do all this? I have a lot of work to do. Leone asks, do you want to meet Yuva or not? If you don't want to meet her, it's fine. I'll tell her no. Miss Wu says, I can go for you, but what will I get in return? Your body is quite good. Do you go to the gym? Leone says, look, I'm not going to sell my body for 10 million. You've misunderstood me. Then, at Miss Wu's request, Leone texts Yuva that their meeting is fixed for tomorrow at 12 p.m. In a thrilling turn of events, we see Lei, who has paid a ransom for Leon. Lei says, Everyone knows that after you pay the Justice Society, no one survives. Leon, you made a big mistake by messing with me. You don't know how many dangerous people I know. The scene shifts, and we see the Justice Society's leader, Xiaohu. Xiaohu says, "My childhood crush is in Zifeng City. Who knows, maybe tomorrow when I go on a mission, I'll meet her. It won't look good if I meet her like this. I should prepare. Maybe she'll agree to be my girlfriend." Just then, a secretary arrives and says, "Boss, we have information about Miss Wu. She has gotten very close to the Lionheart family's young master, and they are currently at a shopping mall." Annoyed, Xiaohu asks, "Who has the guts to lay a hand on the boy I have my eyes on?" The secretary replies, "That boy is none other than Leon Lionheart. You know, a while ago someone put a 10 billion bounty on Leon's head." Happy, Xiaohu says, "This guy's fate was already sealed, but now we get paid to do the job. By the way, who put the bounty on him?" The secretary says, "Leo Lionheart's younger brother, Lei Lionheart. You know there must be a property dispute in their family." Xiaohu, pleased, says, "We get 90% of our work because of these people. They keep fighting among themselves and paying us. Anyway, if I want to end this fight, I have to face Miss Wu, and I can't face such a powerful person without proper preparation. Go ahead and increase the fee." Meanwhile, we see Miss Wu and Leon shopping. Leon thinks, "I had to come here for this pointless 10 million. I really think I made a big mistake by taking the money." Suddenly, Leon notices that someone has been following them for a while. He pulls Miss Wu to the side. Miss Wu asks, "What happened? Where are we going?" Leon says, "We're being followed. That's why we need to get to the side." The girl who came to kill Leon thinks, "I really have to kill this girl. Her senses are amazing. I was hidden here in so many ways and following them, but she found me so easily. But no matter how much they run, they can't escape from me." After they get to the side, Miss Wu asks, "Did we escape?" Leon says, "We didn't escape. Our killers are trapped." The assassin says, "Miss, our target is young Master Lan Linhart. We don't have the guts to lay a hand on you. Please leave this place. If you even get a scratch, we'll be in big trouble, miss." Miss Vo says, "So, you've come here from the Justice Society. How dare you slander my friend's name? And where is Jia Hui? Send him to me. As long as I'm here, you can't attack my friend." The assassin says, "Our job is to kill people for money. Now that we've taken the money, we can't back down, miss. We can only request that you please step back." Miss Vo says, "Just try to lay a hand on him. Then you'll see what happens to you. I promise you, if anything happens to Lan, your judges won't see the light of morning." Just then, Jia Hui walks over and says, "My childhood friend, why are you so angry? Why are you causing trouble for some random guy?" Miss Vo says, "First of all, let me make it clear. We are not friends. We only met 5 years ago at my grandpa's birthday party. Nothing more. Honestly, I meet 1,000 people in a day. Do you think I make a friend out of everyone?" Lan says, "Miss Vo, there's no need to waste time. No one who can kill me has been born yet." Stepping forward, Jia Hui says, "You're really good at talking trash. No matter how much you boast, I know where you stand. We don't just attack like this, we've read your file. The difference between what you say and what's in your file is like heaven and earth." At that moment, Lan takes a step and pushes Jia Hui to the ground. Lan says, "You have a small mind, and it's full of nothing but anger. If you have anything decent, it's a little cultivation. If your cultivation were taken away, what would you be? A pathetic, stupid boy who can't do anything. Do you think any girl would give a guy with such a terrible character the time of day? This is why even Miss Vo, who comes from a great family, hesitates to call an awful person like you her friend. Even a normal girl wouldn't give you the time of day. You know what's worst about you? Your ridiculous, trashy hairstyle." Fuming, Jia Hui says, "You can say whatever you want about me. I don't care. But if you talk about my hair, I won't let you get away with it." Just then, Uncle Jian arrives and says, "Little brother, what are you doing? If you continue this fight, it won't be good for you at all. Let's go to the young masters section, because this whole place has become a mess." Miss Vo says, "But their fight isn't over yet." Uncle Chan was saying to Jiahu, "We're both from the same sect, and since I'm older than you, that makes me your senior brother. Our master and grandmaster have clearly stated that Leon is a treasure to us, and anyone who lays a hand on him will be an enemy of the sect. You know how powerful our sect is, right? If you touch Leon, it could be the end for you." Jiahu replied, "Senior brother, what kind of joke is this? Our master and grandmaster don't even bother with big matters, so why would they come to us just to talk about some guy? No matter what you say, I don't believe that our master and grandmaster said this boy is a treasure." Just then, Jiahu's phone rang. It was his junior brother calling. Jiahu thought, he should be training at the sect, so why would he call me? When he picked up, it was the master on the other end. The master said, "I heard you've taken a bounty on Leon's name. Let me be clear, Jiahu, there must be no attack on Leon, and if you go against my words and attack him, you know what will happen to you." Jiahu stammered, "Yes, master, I understand. From now on, Leon's protection is in our hands. We won't let anything happen to him." Then Jiahu said to Leon, "Brother Leon, this was all a misunderstanding. I didn't know you were so important to the sect. If you ever need help in life, just call me, and I'll come to your aid." Leon replied, "I don't need your apology. Just tell me who put a bounty on my name. I'm sparing you because you didn't attack me, but I need to know who wants me dead." Jiahu said, "I'm only letting you go because of the master. Don't think for a second that your strength is superior to mine. I don't know what your relationship with the master is that he's protecting you, but let me make one thing clear. Our study has a rule. We never betray our clan." Suddenly, Leon grabbed Jiahu by the neck. Leon said, "If you don't tell me the name, you'll have to pay with your life. People will talk about your loyalty, but you'll be dead." Jiahu pleaded, "Please don't kill me. The one who put the bounty on you was your own brother, Leonard Lay. He paid us a huge sum of money to kill you." Jiahu thought to himself, "I didn't think this guy would be so powerful. He looks so young, so when did he start cultivating?" As Leon walked away, he said, "This is your first mistake, so I'm forgiving you. If you repeat this mistake, you won't be so lucky." Meanwhile, Jiahu thought, "What kind of crazy dog bit me that I would mess with such a crazy person?" As our lion arrives at the lion mansion, Grandpa sees him and says, "Young master, how is it that you've come here?" Lion replies, "If you remember, I told you not to interfere in my matters. But you people have gotten so bold that you've put a bounty on my head to have me killed. Now tell me, how are you going to solve this matter?" Angrily, Grandpa retorts, "Who has the audacity to have attacked you?" Lion says, "Don't act in front of me." Grandpa says, "Don't you worry at all. Whoever has done this will not be spared. Before you leave from here, the person who did this to you will be punished." Meanwhile, we see Lei, who says, "This wine tastes extra delicious today. To be honest, I spent 50 million to have Lion killed. When Dad and Grandpa find out that I took out such a big amount, they'll surely scold me a lot. But after that Lion dies, I'll become the sole owner of my family's billions of dollars, so a loss of 50 million is no big deal for that. That bastard broke my arm. Today, that bastard's neck will be broken." Just then, Lei's personal secretary comes running in and says that Lion is at the house. Shocked, Lei says, "How is that possible? The Justice Society has killed everyone whose name they've taken a bounty for. How did Lion survive at their hands?" Then some bodyguards come in and say, "Young master, Grandpa is calling for you." Lei says, "Tell him I don't want to meet him." The guards then grab Lei and start dragging him away. We see that Lei's mom finds out about him being taken away. Lei's mom says, "My husband isn't here, and this old man has turned the whole family upside down. This bastard will punish my son, will he? Now I'll show him how dangerous I am. I'm ready to destroy everything, but I'm not going to spare this Lion and this Grandpa." Meanwhile, we see Lei being brought into Grandpa's office. Grandpa says, "Tell me the truth. Did you put a bounty on Lion's name? And if you did, how much was it for?" Lei says, "At first we agreed on 10 million, but suddenly they raised the rate to 50 million. Shouting, Grandpa says, "You haven't earned a single penny in your whole life, so where did you get all this money from?" Lei says, "I know the password to the family's account. I secretly took the money out." Grandpa then steps forward and slaps Lei. Grandpa says, "You idiot. Don't you know that our family's finances are in overdebt? Your dad, who is the family head, has gone to Guyane to solve all these problems, and you are wasting money on useless things behind his back. To this day, I regret how such trash like you was born into our house." Lou, I wouldn't have had to do any of this if my family wasn't so two-faced. Everyone used to pay attention to me, but as soon as they found out this bastard had Grandmaster-level power, I became completely worthless in this family. I know that as long as he's alive, I'll never have a chance in this family. My worth is less than a dog's, so it's very important for me to kill him. Grandpa laughs and says, I thought you had done everything for your birth, but the hatred inside you is so obvious. I never thought there could be such a despicable person in our Lin family, but to be honest, I would be very happy to get rid of trash like you. Today, by ending you, I will completely cleanse the Lin family. Only then can your family truly grow. At that moment, Lee's mom arrives and says, Who dares to touch my son? Grandpa says, I wish you had asked what your son did, instead of asking who I am. Lee's mom says, I don't care what he did. He's the son of the family head, and no one can lay a hand on him. If you want to attack Lee, you have to attack me first. Then we'll see how you answer to the family head when he arrives. You had power, but that was 202 years ago. Now you are completely worthless in this family. Grandpa releases his energy and says, I guess I'll have to show you how worthless I am. I know you're doing all this to save your son from punishment. Then Lee's mom takes out a bottle from her pocket and says, You will have to bear the consequences of whatever I am about to do. Grandpa says, It's poison, isn't it? Why did you bring it here? Lin thinks Lee's mom is a great actress. Everyone knows that Grandpa won't kill Lee, but he'll get a big punishment for his mistake. That's why she brought poison to scare Grandpa. The funniest thing is that it's not even real poison inside. She's filled it with Sprite. Let's see how far this woman takes her acting. Lee's mom says, If you are going to kill my son, I'll do it myself. Saying this, she makes Lee drink the entire Sprite. Grandpa thinks it's poison, so he tells the guard to quickly call the doctor. Lin says a doctor can't cure him. I'll cure this bastard. Saying this, he jumps off the 4th floor with Lee. The scene shifts and we see Jiahu sitting with Uncle Chen. Jiahu asks, You've found out about Leon. What do you think he'll do? Uncle Chen replies, I think he'll punish him, but he won't kill him. Jiahu argues, But that guy Lei tried to have him killed. And besides, Leon has Grandmaster level power. Even if he kills Lei, he and his family can't do anything to Leon. Uncle Chen responds, I don't know about other things, but I do know that Leon is a very kind-hearted person. He would never kill a member of his own family. Meanwhile, we see Leon with Lei at a momo stall. Leon asks the momo seller, Uncle, do you have any bad momo sauce? The uncle replies, Yeah, I do, but what do you want with it? The taste and smell are so bad that even dogs and pigs don't like to eat it. That's why I was just about to throw it away. Leon says, You don't need to throw it away. This terrible liquid can save my brother's life. This foolish brother of mine mistook poison for a snack and ate it, so it's very important for him to vomit. Lei thinks to himself, What is Leon trying to do? What did he do to me? Why can't I say anything? The uncle, looking worried, says, If that's the case, then it's very important for him to vomit. Don't worry, if he drinks just 1 drop of this, he'll vomit immediately. Leon says, Don't worry at all. Even if pigs don't like this drink, today this drink will save a person's life. The uncle puts the bowl up to Lei's mouth and says, I work at a stall, but I always felt that my life had some purpose. And today, I finally understand my purpose. I opened this stall so I could save a person's life. Foolish boy, open your mouth. This drink isn't going into your mouth. Once it goes inside, the poison inside you will come out. After the drink is finished, Leon asks, By the way, uncle, what did you put in this? The smell is so strong that it's still lingering. The uncle replies, This is my family's secret. We put secret spices in it. And he runs away. Leon thinks, It seems like Lei drank something dangerous today. At that moment, the grandpa and Lei's mother arrive. Lei's mom yells, What did you give my son to drink? It's so smelly that I can smell it from here. If anything happens to my son because of all this, I won't spare you. Leon says, Look, you don't have the right to say any of this. You gave your own son poison with your own hands. Then he says to Lei's mom, hitting her, Don't try to pull any of your nonsense on me. I saved your son's life. If I hadn't made him drink this, he wouldn't have thrown up the poison. Lei's mom says, How dare you hit me? Let the family head come back, and then I'll show you what you've done. Lan says, I'm waiting for them too. When they find out you poisoned their son, I'd like to see what they do. Anyway, Grandpa saw that I saved your son by giving him a disgusting drink. Grandpa, you tell me, did I do anything wrong? Grandpa says, Even with all the problems Lan has with the Line family, he didn't hesitate for a second to save his brother's life. He even jumped from the 4th floor to save him. And you, a terrible mother, poisoned your own son. Until the family head returns, you'll be locked in your room and sent to the hostel in disgrace. After they leave, Grandpa says, "Young master, I did a good job, didn't I?" As he's leaving, Lion says, "Yes, your performance was amazing. If you keep doing such good work, you might live another 10 or 20 years. At the same time, Lion thinks to himself, I've handled these people. Now it's time to go and teach Yulin cultivation. As I progress, my enemies will increase, and my loved ones will be the first ones targeted. If she becomes strong on her own, I won't have to worry about her." Next, our Lan arrives at the Tianmen mansion. Lan says, "Yulin, are you free?" Yulin says, "Yes, young master, what do you need?" Lan says, "Come to my room right away." After they get to the room, Lan starts changing his clothes. Meanwhile, Yulin thinks to herself, what does the young master want to do? Is he thinking of doing what I'm thinking? Yulin says, "Young master, I need to take a bath first." Lan says, "You can bathe later. Let's do the work we came here to do first." Shyly, Yulin says, "But young master, I don't have any experience with this." Lion says, "I know what you're thinking. Not everyone has experience with this, but don't worry at all. I will teach you for so long that it won't feel like your first time." Then, Lion starts transferring his energy into Yulin. Shyly, Yulin says, "You're really so good, young master." Then Lan says, "Since the beginning, she's been behaving strangely. Wait a second. What does she think I'm doing here?" Then, hitting Yulin on the head, Lion says, "I'm opening your body's chakra points for cultivation. Your senses need to be better than a normal person's. If you can't even see the energy around you, how are you going to absorb it? So stop thinking nonsense and concentrate properly." Speaking like this, he again starts to transfer his energy into Yulin's body. Yulin says, "Yes, young master, I can feel the surrounding energy." Lian thinks to himself, normally it takes some time for anyone to do this, but because Yulin has an immortal body, she is able to sense the surrounding energy. Then, as he leaves, Lian says, "Cultivate here at ease. And yes, lie down here for 2 hours." Then Arlene sits down and starts eating chips. Lian says, "Now I understand why people from Earth like to eat chips and watch wrestling so much. It's really so relaxing." Just then, a news report comes up on the screen. "A 1,000-year-old tree broke yesterday due to a lightning strike." Lian happily says, "This is great news. If a weapon were forged in front of this tree, it would be an incredible weapon. Tree, wait for me. I'm coming to get you soon." As Lian is thinking all this, he hears a very loud noise from the roof. Going upstairs, Lian thinks to himself, Euro told me that there was renovation work going on in our upstairs neighbor's house, but as far as I remember, they can only do this work until 12 p.m. It's already 2 p.m. and they still haven't stopped the renovation work. Yulin is meditating right now, and if they keep making noise like this, she'll get disturbed. Then knocking on the door, Lin says, "I'm your neighbor from downstairs." Just then, the man opens the gate and says, "So what if you're my neighbor? Why are you bothering me?" Then Lian says, "I'm not bothering you, you're bothering me. If you remember correctly, you could only do renovation work until 12 p.m., and it's already 2 p.m. So now, will you stop this work yourself, or should I make you stop?" Threatening Lian, the man says, "Do you see this brick? This brick is of the best quality. I want high-quality bricks to be used in my renovation. It would be a great sorrow for me if I had to use it to smash someone's head." Lin says, "Look, I don't have time to waste on garbage like you, and if you're not going to stop the work, I'm calling the police." Then the man says, "Yes, call them. As soon as the police come, I'll stop the work, and after they leave, I'll start the work again. Then we'll see what you can do." Lian says, "The brick you have in your hand, you're calling this a high-quality brick, right?" Then, showing the brick to Lion, the man says, "If this hits your head just once, your whole head will split open." Then Lion breaks that brick with just one attack. Lion says, "Your brick is really of very low quality. Were you talking about smashing my head with this?" Panicking, the man says, "If you lay a hand on me, I'll call the police. You can't show your strength and intimidate people." Going over there, Lian calls the police and says, "My neighbor attacked my hand. I've sent you the CCTV footage. Please handle this person." The man standing behind thinks to himself, "This guy is very clever. It seems I picked a fight with the wrong person today." Meanwhile, we see Jiahu and Uncle Chan who have finished their lunch. Jiahu says, "Since you are my senior, you should pay." Uncle Chan replies, "You're the owner of such a big corporation. What's a small bill to you?" Jiahu says, "Even though our cooperation is big, we don't have regular work, and unlike others, I keep my brothers on a salary, not on missions. so they don't have any financial problems. That's why I have very little money. While paying, Uncle Chan says, I understand. You're doing all this because of that incident, aren't you? You're still fighting for your pride. Jiahu replies, when I left the sect, I made a promise that I would return only when I had achieved something. To make a name for myself, I even created the Just shirt, but things didn't turn out the way I had planned. Uncle Chan says, it seems you regret leaving the sect. To be honest, Master misses you a lot. If you reach out, maybe Master will forgive you. Walking outside, Jiahu says, next month is Master's birthday, and there's no better opportunity to meet him again. You know, I saw the news yesterday that a 1,000-year-old trainer tree has fallen. If I could gift that to Master, everything would surely be all right between us. Uncle Chan says, I've heard that the tree has been bought by the Laozi family. If we go there as representatives of the sect, maybe they'll give us a part of it. Jiahu says, okay, let's go then. Uncle Chan says, remember, we won't be the only ones there. As far as I know, the White Lotus sect is also coming for that tree, so we have to be very careful. Jiahu says, as long as we're together, who can stop us? Meanwhile, we see Lian, who has arrived at the Laozi temple. Lian thinks, only monks live in this temple, so I won't use Fao here at all. Then Lian sees that Jiahu and Uncle Chan have also arrived. Jiahu says, it seems a lot of people have come here for the tree today. Lian says, you've also come for the same thing? Uncle Chan says, Lian, I don't think we should fight right now. This is the Laozi temple's property. We've all come to get a part of it. Besides, today I'm here not as Miss Wu's bodyguard, but as a representative of my sect, so I won't be getting any backup in a fight. Lian says, who's afraid of you then? We can fight before or after we get the tree, whenever you want. Just then, a monk from the Laozi temple arrives. Lian and Jiahu both talk to him about the tree. The monk says, our master knows that many people will come for the tree. That's why my master said that they will give half the tree to the people who have come from outside. The other half is our property, and we're dividing it among everyone. Lian says, how will your master divide it without mentioning any names? The monk says, Master only said that they have given us half the tree. Now it's up to you to figure out how to divide it among yourselves. Just as he says this, he starts walking towards the mock site. Lan is thinking to himself, the people of Laju Temple are truly very wise. Because they had the entire tree, many sects came to attack them. But by donating half of the tree, they made everyone fight among themselves. This way, their half was completely saved. Lan says, now that the division of it is up to us, let's talk. Meanwhile, Jiahu says, senior brother, there are two of us, and he's alone. Mu Chang says, don't make the mistake of thinking that. I agree he's alone, but he's enough to defeat both of us. Then Uncle Chen says, Lan, how much do you want? Lan says, 2 meters will be enough for me. Jiahu says, that's completely impossible. I won't give more than 1 meter. Lan says, have you heard the saying, greed is a very bad thing? This 1 meter of yours will cause you a great loss. And besides, someone is coming here to snatch all of it from you. Just then, we see men from the White Order sect arrive. Zifeng says, we've been hiding our presence for quite some time, and you still think we're here? Z says, look, we will spare your lives. Now that Laju Temple has given half the tree, this entire half of the tree belongs to us. If you all leave now, your lives will be spared. If not, you won't get anything, and you'll be killed. Lan says, to be honest, I wasn't on high alert at all. The reality is that you had hidden your presence so poorly that only a 5-year-old child could have failed to notice someone hiding in the bushes. Jiahu says, there are 2 grandmasters and 10 half-grandmasters here. I had a feeling from the beginning that why would Laju Temple give half the tree to just us 3? Now I understand. They were doing everything they could to avoid this fight. They are truly terrible people. Uncle Chen says, you're standing in front of their temple and bad-mouthing them? They've already given half of it. Now it's up to us who gets it. If you badmouth them, they might just attack us too. Then Jiahu says, why are you all just standing there? If you have the guts, come and take it from us. But remember before you attack that we belong to the Junkie sect, and you know what happens to those who mess with the Junkie sect. Zilei says, do you think you can scare us with the name of your sect? We're not afraid of your small-time sects. Lan says, I'm only getting 1 meter from this huge tree, so I'm not going to get involved in your mess. Stammering, Uncle Chen says, Lan, what do you mean? Lan says, you can see how big even half of the tree is. I'm only getting 1 meter out of it. I'm capable enough to take my 1 meter and leave, but how you will take the rest of it is up to you. Jiahu says, "Do you think we can't win without you? Okay, help us. In exchange, I'll give you 2 meters." The 2-meter deal was for before. Now I won't settle for less than half. Zihua says, "You really are very clever. Okay, we'll give you half." Moving forward, Leon says, "You're very sensible. If you didn't give me half, you would have gotten nothing. Look, I'll handle these 2 grandmasters in front of us. I hope you can handle the rest of these weaklings." Moving forward, Zeal and Zifeng say, "Boy, you're being very arrogant. Do you know that people who don't know their place die like dogs?" Leon says, "Yes, you're absolutely right, just like you people are going to die here today." Zifeng says, "We've been practicing together for 20 continuous years. We train 16 hours a day and run 20 kilometers just to be able to cooperate, so we stay together all day long. Today, we have the ability to take on 5 grandmasters together, so what can a small child do to us?" Then Leon piles them up in one motion. Leon says, 20 years of training, 20 kilometers of running, all of it becomes useless when you're faced with absolute power. A wise person bows down before absolute power and moves forward, and some fools like you get killed because of their arrogance. Then turning back, Leon says, "I've done my job. I'm leaving with my half share." Zihua says, "Won't you help us?" Leon says, "That's not how you ask for help, and I don't help anyone for free. It's not in my nature." Uncle Chen says, "Young Master Ironheart, please forgive my junior brother's misbehavior. I don't have much to offer, but I can give you 5 million. Leon says, "Okay, I like your sincerity." With one attack, he finishes off all the men, saying, "Don't forget the 5 million, and you guys can decide what to do with these people now." Zihua says nervously, "Senior brother, how can he be so powerful at such a young age? He's even younger than me, but I think he's much more powerful than our master." Uncle Chen says, "Yes, you're absolutely right. Leon was not wrong at all. He truly has absolute power, and the wise are those who bow down before absolute power. Those who stand against it will get nothing but death." Just as they are speaking, an attack flies towards them, which Jia dodges just in time. Zihua says, "Do you think I'll get caught in a small attack like this?" But then the attack turns around and hits Zihua. Zihua says, "Whoever attacked can control their weapon." Then, the sect leader of the White Lotus sect, Lily, arrives. Lily says, "Your reflexes were good, but your mind is full of garbage." Mooch says, "Did you also come here to fight for this tree?" Lily says, "No, I found a much more amazing prize than this tree, and that's the young man." Leon says, "What do you want from me? I was just passing by." Lily is speaking. She says that no one is as powerful as him at his age, and that she is offering him a position on their side. She promises to give him everything from resources and more. Leon says no, and that he has no interest in talking to her because his mom told him not to talk to her. Lily laughs and says he's right, he is still a child. Otherwise, no one would ever refuse such a good offer. Leon advises her to leave so she won't be beaten up like the others. Lily asks if he'll still go against the salary, even though they don't have a feud with him. Leon replies that he has taken money from these people and therefore has to complete the task. He tells her that she can't touch these 2 people today. Lily says it's a shame she has to kill him because this saying has never failed, and it's her record. Leon says he used to break such records in 4th grade. As he says this, he breaks all of Lily's weapons. When the smoke clears, he sees that Lily has disappeared. Leon says the girl who was talking about records sure ran away fast. Meanwhile, Lily, while running, says she will always remember the name Leon Lionheart, and if she doesn't get her revenge, then her name isn't Holy Saintance Lee. We then see someone recording their fight. The scene shifts, and we see the all-time limited company. We see everyone in the company talking about Leon. A bespectacled man says they just saw the fight between Leon Lionheart and the White Lord side, and how Leon easily defeated and chased away Lily, who is a very powerful saintess. He says that the amazing thing is that Leon was never this powerful. He says that if you look at his past, he's an illegitimate child of the Lion family, and everyone knows how such children are treated. He says that a few days ago, he was attacked and completely changed after that. Chairman Lu Sheng says that their job is not to interfere in other people's personal lives, but to maintain a balance of power among everyone and ensure that the world of cultivators doesn't come before ordinary people. The bespectacled man says not to worry and that he won't let this fight reach the media. Lu Sheng says to contact this Leon Lionheart, saying that he can tell that this man is going to be a big shot in the future. He says it would be good for them if they could get him to join their company. On the other side, we see Leon practicing his techniques. Leon says that he has made some swords for himself with the help of Adar Tree. He says that while they are not very powerful, they can still serve as special weapons. He also says that their ability to shapeshift is amazing, and that he can carry them anywhere. Just then, Leon says that he is standing in the jungle and a car has been following him. He says he'll go and see who it is. We see the bespectacled man sitting in the car, and he tells the chairman that Leon not only has martial arts, but also has the ability to refine weapons and is coming to talk to him. He says that he will try to talk to him and bring him to the company. Just then, Lan, who was knocking, says, "Tell me, can I know why you're following me?" The man who steps out says, "My name is Hu Hongli. I'm the manager of Overtime Limited Company, and I've come to talk to you on their behalf." Lan says, "I didn't fill out a form with any company, so you can leave." Just then, Lan notices that Hongli is wearing a spiritual weapon on his hands. Lan says, "You have a spiritual artifact in this world? This means your background isn't simple at all." Hongli says, "Let me introduce myself again. I'm the manager of Overtime Private Limited. On the surface, it seems like our company provides cleaning services, but our real job is to maintain the power balance in society. Our main purpose is to prevent the world of cultivators from coming into the open for normal people. And because you're a new star in this cultivation world, we've come here to talk to you. It's our responsibility to keep track of everyone." Lan says, "And if I refuse to cooperate with you people, what will you do then?" Hongli says, "We have some very powerful experts in this world, and even more than that, we have excellent technologies. If the person in front of us doesn't agree to cooperate, we have to use force. And in our cooperation, we don't ask for much. We just ask for the other person's intention. We just want to know if they are safe for humanity or not. Please don't take these words as a threat. I'm just asking for everyone's safety. And there's an advantage to joining us. You can get information about all the other people." Lan says, "Hey, you're doing a good job, and I especially like your attitude. Okay, then I'm ready to cooperate with you." Then, waving his hand, Hongli says, "It'll be a pleasure to work with you." Shaking hands, Lan says, "But this place isn't right at all. We need to go somewhere else." The scene changes, and we're shown a restaurant scene in Yadong. We see Miss Wu, who has come to meet Yuva. Yuva, happy, says, "Miss Wu, we've finally met again." Miss Wu says, "You've paid such a huge amount to meet me. I need to know what you wanted to talk about." Yuva says, "First we should eat something, and then we should talk." Miss Wu says, "Look, you've already spent a lot of money on me. I'd advise you not to spend any more, it'll be better for you. And I want to make one more thing clear here, that the Wu family can never help the Jiang family in any way. We have no desire to cooperate with you." Yuva says, "I don't know why, but even after your rejection, I feel much lighter." Miss Wu says, "To be honest, you're putting in so much effort for nothing. When no one appreciates your efforts, why are you putting in so much effort?" Yuva says, "I admit there are some things I can't control, but I still have to give my best to prove myself." Miss Wu says, "I want to know why you never chose Lan for yourself. If you had, things would have been much easier for you. Don't say that choosing him or not was also not in your hands." "That guy's a total idiot," Yuva says. "I know he's not going to be of any use in my future plans, so why would I keep him around?" The lady replies, "I was right before. You are a huge idiot. A businessman never thinks about what he'll get if he acts today. A successful businessman is one who can think far ahead. If you don't have patience, you'll never achieve anything in life." Yuva says, "What does that have to do with Li Yuan?" The lady replies, "You admit that Li Yuan has incredible power, don't you? In terms of strength, there's probably no one in this city who's ahead of him, and according to my calculations, he's the #1 genius in this country for his age. He's also the youngest grandmaster. I can guarantee that when you rejected Li Yuan, you didn't know about his power." Yuva thinks to herself, "Yes, I had no idea. I was so crazy about gaining power in my family's eyes that I never paid proper attention to Li Yuan." The lady says, "That's why I called you an idiot. You know, I'm not choosing Li Yuan based on his current power. I know that if he goes on to rule the world, it won't be a big deal. If he were with you today, your own family would be respecting you, but you've lost a huge opportunity in your life." Yuva says, "He must have met you too. That's probably why you have these thoughts about him, but I've known him since childhood, and I can guarantee that he won't live up to your expectations." The lady replies, "You say you've been with him since childhood, and yet you had no idea about his power. Now think for a moment. Despite having so much power, Liuan showed himself as weak in front of everyone. A person needs to have ultimate patience to do that. Yuva says, "So what? What's the difference if he did all that?" The lady says, "Let me tell you a reality that will probably blow your mind. If you had half the patience that Liuan has, the Zhang family would probably be at your feet today. It's not that you don't have abilities. The problem is that you have absolutely no patience, and because of that, you'll always be begging the Zhang family for respect, which you'll never get. You know, before I met you, I thought I could work with the Zhang family, but now that I know about you and your family, I'll never work with you guys." Yuva says, "Miss, thank you for your advice. If I can gain this respect in my family through Liuan, then to be honest, it's very easy to achieve. From childhood until today, he was only ever behind me, and I never paid him any mind. If I put in just a little effort for him, he'll come running to me. Now, because of your advice, our Zhang family will go very far." She laughs. The lady says, "You won't be able to do that either." Yuva says, "Do you think so little of me? I can't even get the girl who's liked me for my whole life?" The lady replies, "I don't think little of you. You think too highly of yourself. To be honest, Liuan is the person I've chosen for myself. I can entrust my entire family's property to that man. Can you show the same trust in him? Okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm leaving. I hope you find the respect you're looking for." Upon arrival, Lun and Hungli enter the building. "Your company looks pretty weak," Lun says. Hungli replies, "I told you we have to maintain the illusion of a simple cleaning service on the outside. That's why we couldn't build a bigger company." "Please come in, Mr. Lun. The chairman is waiting for you," a staff member says. Inside, Chairman Lu says, "Mr. Lun, please make yourself at home." "Don't worry," Lun replies, placing his feet on the table. "I'm already treating this company like my property, and you like my worker." "You truly are an interesting person," the chairman says with a smile. "The reason we've invited you here is because we want you and Genius to work with us." "Your offers are incredible," Lun says, "but I don't work for anyone. I learned one lesson in life: never be under anyone's control. So I'm not signing any contract." "Mr. Lun, I understand your point," Chairman Lu says, "but everything we do here is for the welfare of the people. Plus, joining our company won't be a loss for you. In fact, you'll benefit greatly. We can give you information that no one else has." "What kind of information?" Lun asks. "Information like, you're not the real Lun Lionheart," Chairman Lu reveals. The real Lun was a 20-year-old boy who had never done anything good in his life. Everyone thought he was a loser, and he was, to a great extent, a piece of trash. Then Zheng Bei sent his men to beat him up and throw him in the forest. After that same night, Lun completely changed, and that's when you appeared. How can we believe that a person would get superpowers after getting beaten up? You people have done a lot of investigation on me," Lun says, surprised. "We told you," Chairman Lu says. "When it comes to investigations and information retrieval, no one is better than us." The scene shifts to Zheng Bei operation. To save the Lion family from their financial crisis, their head, Yan, went to beg for money, Zheng Bei says. "The amazing thing is that he fell into our trap. Yan made the biggest mistake by going to us. Now we won't let the Lion family recover at all, and their destruction will be the biggest benefit for us." "You've done an excellent job," Zheng Bei's dad says. "Everything is about to be completed, so go and rest. I've been trying to destroy the Lion family for so long, and now that they're finally about to be finished, you want me to rest?" Zheng Bei scoffs. "I want to witness the destruction of the Lion family with my own eyes. Ever since childhood, I've heard that the Lion family is much bigger than ours. My only dream since childhood was to destroy the Lion hearts and make my family the greatest. Now that I have this opportunity, how can I rest?" "That's the kind of ambition I expect from my son," his dad says happily. "In the business world and in real life, you're a beast. That's why I've chosen you as the next head of the family. If you don't want to rest, fine. Go and party. It'll take 3 days for the Lion family to be destroyed anyway." Outside, Zheng Bei says to himself, "Lun Lionheart, you beat me. And all of this is happening because of that beating. I'll destroy you so completely that you'll have to come to me on your knees and beg for forgiveness. Let's go inside and enjoy ourselves, because soon we will witness the great spectacle of Lun Lionheart's ruin." In a sharp contrast, we see Miss Wu at her home, bored. Miss Wu asks, "Uncle John, do you know what Leon might be doing right now?" Uncle John replies, "As far as I know, the company recorded our fight on overtime, so they probably called Leon for a meeting." Miss Wu says, "Oh, so Leon is in our company right now. Wait a second, He's inside our company right now, and our officers have no idea of his power. They will definitely talk to him arrogantly, and since Leon isn't used to bowing down, a huge problem could arise. Uncle Jian responds, "Yes, you're absolutely right. We must hurry and save Leon." Miss Wu corrects him, "Not Leon, our company is in danger. We must hurry or he will destroy our company." Meanwhile, we see the chairman and Leon talking. The chairman asks, "May I know who you are?" Leon replies, "I have no desire to tell you, but if you must know, I'm the reincarnation of an immortal." Shocked, the chairman says, "Now I understand. Everything makes sense now." Leon says, "Don't you think I've just picked this up from a novel?" The chairman responds, "Such amazing growth can't just happen. It's impossible for anyone to achieve this on their own." Leon says, "The fight I had outside the Loveji temple yesterday was extremely dangerous. What did you guys do with that news? So many people died there. Didn't the media cover it?" The chairman replies, "That's our specialty. Yesterday we showed that a pipeline burst in front of the Loveji temple and some trapped monks died in it. Now you can understand what our company does." Leon says, "Everything is fine, but I still won't work under anyone." The chairman says, "All right, I'll give you another piece of news. Maybe you'll find this a little more interesting. We have a spiritual van. If we can restore it, we won't have any lack of thought. And there's another big news concerning your Lian family. Zhengbei has trapped your father inside Yanbei. It's possible they could do anything to your dad there, and in the next 3 days they will destroy your entire family." Enraged, Leon thinks to himself, "Lian Linhai has loved his dad his whole life. No matter what, I can't let Lian Ling's dad die. And as for that gang family, they won't escape my hands now." As Leon is about to go and destroy all of them, the chairman says, "You can't go. It seems you've forgotten. Our job is to keep cultivators away from normal people, so you can't just attack the Zheng family like that." Angrily, Leon says, "Are you going to teach me what to do and what not to do? I've been sitting here listening to your nonsense for ages. Whoever wants to stop me, come on. I'll finish all of you along with the Zhang family." Just then, Miss Wu arrives and says, "Leon, calm down. Don't worry, no one will stop you." Leon asks, "What are you doing here?" Miss Wu replies, "We have 80% of the shares in this company, so this company is our company. And I know you'll never work under anyone, so you won't join this organization. So I'm offering you a better option. I'm willing to give you 50% shares of this company. As an owner, you will join this company, won't you?" Lan says, "I'm the one speaking, okay? But there won't be any restrictions on me. I can destroy whomever I want." The woman says, "You're the owner of this company, so you also decide the rules here." Then Lan signs the company papers. The woman says, "Don't you worry at all. We saved your father in Yan Yan, and as for your family's financial crisis, my family will handle it. Now that you've joined us, it's time to show the Jack family their place." Lan says, "I have to admit, you're really a crazy girl. Who gives their company to a stranger?" The woman says, "I chose you for myself, and you're just talking about a company? If I had to give up my entire family's property for you, I would have done that too." Then she looks at Hunley and says, "How long have you been staring at us? Can't you see a couple talking here?" As he leaves, Hunley says, "Okay, director, I'll be going." Lan says, "I didn't know you had so much influence in the martial world. You've been hiding so many secrets." The woman says, "No one is better at hiding secrets than you." Lan says, "By the way, where is Jaegu? I had to settle some scores with him." The woman says, "He's out with his friends, partying." Lan, please do me a favor. Don't kill any of them." Lan says, "Don't worry, I'll just beat them enough so they can still breathe." Later, Lan arrives outside the Heaven Hall. Just then, Jaegu and his friends come out of the hall. Jaegu says, "It looks like young Master Lan has come to beg us. He must have realized his family is about to be destroyed." Lan grabs Jaegu and asks, "I'll ask you one time. Did you attack my dad in Yan'an?" Just then, Jaegu's friend says, "Even if he did, so what?" Lan turns around and says, "Are you in a hurry to die? When two people are talking, dogs don't bark in between." Hearing Lan's words, everyone gets scared. Lan says, "Tell me quickly, did you attack my dad?" Jaegu says, "Yes, I did. Even though my attack failed today, in a few days, you and your whole family will be begging outside my house. I would have broken your hands and legs by now, but I'm in a good mood today." Suddenly, Lan attacks and breaks both of Jaegu's legs. Screaming, Jaegu asks, "What did you do?" Lan says, "Be grateful I promised someone I wouldn't kill you. Otherwise, your head would already be separated from your body." Then he turns to the friend and says, "You were talking too much. Now it's your turn." The man, terrified, says, "Young Master Lan, I'm just a small dog. Your hands will get dirty if you touch a dog like me. I'll do this myself." Saying this, he picks up a rock and hits himself. Then Lan asks Jae-gu, "Did your dad tell you to do what you did to my dad?" Jae-gu says, "You're crazy, you broke my legs." Lan slaps him and says, "Just answer what you're asked." Jae-gu says, "If you have the guts, then kill me." Lan slaps him again. Jae-gu says, "I wasn't talking about a slap. Kill me, and then let's see how you escape." Lan says, "You're the first fool who is inviting his own death." Even before Leon could attack him, Yuva arrives and sees her brother Gangbei. Yuva says, "What have you done? Didn't you feel any pity while beating up my brother like this?" Laughing, Leon says, "You talk as if I beat up a very good person. I hit a man whose death would only lighten the burden on this earth, and I'm advising you to get lost because I don't lay my hands on girls." Yuva says, "You knew he was my brother, and you still hit him so badly. If you don't apologize to my brother, I will never see you again." Turning around, Leon says, "I've seen a lot of people who live in misunderstandings, but I've never seen anyone as delusional as you. Who are you anyway, that not seeing you would make a big difference to me? You're a girl that her own family doesn't like, and you go around begging for respect everywhere. Not meeting a person like you will only make my day better." Yuva screams, "You will definitely regret whatever you've done." Leon says, "Only time will tell." Then he quietly says to Miss Wu, "Leon didn't cause much destruction. He kept his promise and only broke his legs." Later, Yuva brings Gangbei to the hospital. Yuva says, "The doctor said it will take you 3 months to recover. The less you worry, the better it will be for you." Gangbei screams, "I can't stay here. I want to see Leon and his family disturbed. I want them to come and beg me." Yuva says, "What did you do that made Leon attack you to this extent? I know him well enough to know that he wouldn't attack you for no reason." Gangbei screams, "Get out of here. I don't find it important to explain anything to you." Yuva says, "I am your sister. I can handle your work if you tell me. It will lighten your heart." Gangbei says, "Even if you are my sister, remember that you can never be a part of our family. You will get married and become a member of some other family. That's why the gang family members won't even give you a small manager's position." Crying, Yuva says, "Just because I'm a girl, you and Dad always treat me like this." But then, Yuva remembers Miss Wu's words. Yuva thinks, "Miss Wu was absolutely right that I have no patience. After hearing my brother's words, I got so easily broken. I shouldn't have done that." Yuva says, "My younger brother, don't you worry at all. A day will come when you will definitely trust a good person." Just then, Gangbei's father arrives looking scary. He says, "Yuva, you go outside. I need to discuss something with your brother." As Yuva leaves, Gangbei's father slaps him. Screaming, Gangbei says, "Dad, I want to see this Leon Landhart dead. No matter what the price, I want to see him destroyed." Gangbei's father says, "Do you think I'm happy to see him? The young master of the gang family got beaten up in the big market. As the head of the family, I've been reduced to nothing. Do you think I'm just sitting here with my hands tied? I contacted justice, but it was strange that as soon as they heard Leon's name, they hung up the phone and refused to take the job." Jiang yells, "Everyone knows that Just Reina only works for money. And from now on, where will the miser get the money to hire her?" Suddenly, his dad slaps Jiang and says, "Don't forget, I'm still the family head. Don't show your arrogance to your friends. You're living off my money. Look, as far as I know, Judge Solji definitely has some connection to Leon. That's why they aren't taking on the job. But we have many other ways to kill Leon. We can still use them to destroy those bastards." The scene changes, and we are shown the Tian Mansion. We see Leon, who is teaching Yulin martial arts on the roof of the Tian Mansion building. Yulin says, "It's so difficult to learn." Leon says, "Don't distract your mind and focus." A little later, Yulin says, "This is so tiring. What good will all this learning do for me anyway?" Leon attacks and breaks a water tank. Leon says, "Normally, 10 people together couldn't break this iron tank, but I broke it with just one slash in the air, without any muscle strain. It's impossible to do this without a muscle injury." Yulin says happily, "This is amazing." Suddenly, someone yells from below, "I was taking a shower. How did the water stop?" Leon says, "Yulin, run fast. We broke the water tank. We'll get a huge scolding if anyone sees us." Later, Yulin and Leon are back inside. Yulin is about to kiss Leon when she gets a call from her grandpa. Annoyed, Leon says, "This old man just had to call now." Yulin says shyly, "Young master, I have some work, so I'm leaving." Grandpa says, "Leon, something very important has come up, so you have to come back home." Leon says, "If I find out after coming that you didn't have a good reason to call me, I'll slap your bald head today." Grandpa says, "Leon, did you break Jang's legs?" Leon says, "Yeah, That scoundrel was bothering me, so I punished him. He was lucky that I had promised someone, otherwise I would have broken his neck. Suddenly, Lei's mom yells, "Are you really going to destroy our family?" Leon says, "As far as I know, you were sentenced to stay in your room, right? How did you get out? It looks like our bald grandpa is very two-faced." Hearing Leon's words, Grandpa gets very angry but can't say anything. Moving on, Lei says, "You offended the Zhang family, and that's why they attacked us financially. And today, the price of our stock fell from 10 billion. Grandpa, no matter how bad I am, I have never caused the family such a huge loss." Lei thinks, "Until yesterday, everyone was with you, but just watch how I turn them all against you." Then everyone in the family starts saying that they have suffered a huge loss because of Leon. Leon says, "The loss is not because of me, but because of your foolishness. Do you know that for the past 8-10 years by working in this company, you've hollowed it out from the inside? You all have your own luxuries, for which you've been siphoning off a lot of money. If people like you work in any company, you'll eat it up from the inside. And now, when it's time to place the blame, you're blaming me. Do you know that a person shows their true colors only once? And now I have come to know your reality, so you'll get a very big shock soon." Miss Wu is seen looking at the Lai family's stock. She says that the Zhang family has made a big move against the Lai family. She points out that the company's value, which was 100 billion a short while ago, has fallen to 20 billion. She believes that at this rate, the company will go bankrupt by the afternoon. She then calls Uncle Chen and asks him to start buying the Lai family's stock, stating that they need to increase their influence with them. Uncle Chen expresses concern, saying that she is using her family's power a bit too much, and if the family head finds out that she is manipulating the market, they would get very angry. Miss Wu responds that she is not doing this for the Lai family, but for Lan, and she is confident that they won't suffer any losses because of him. She says she's on her way to the Lai family to witness a great show. Meanwhile, at the Lai family's residence, Lei is thinking about how no one will get angry if he attacks Lan right now. He decides to move forward with his attack. Lan then slaps Lei and kicks him in the butt. Lei complains to his grandfather, "Grandpa, he hit me so much in front of you and you are doing nothing." The grandfather tells him to shut up, saying, "You'll get all of us killed for no reason." Lan says that their decisions don't matter to him and that he is leaving. The grandfather insists, "You have to apologize to the Zhang family. You can't leave without apologizing." Lan retorts, "What will you do if I don't?" The grandfather points to the bodyguards outside and says, "You see these bodyguards? I'll have to use them even if I don't want to." Lan says, "You people are going too far. It's important to finish you all off." Just then, Miss Wu arrives and asks, "Lan, why are you getting so angry? The show has just started and you want to end everything now?" The grandfather welcomes Miss Wu, thinking to himself that if the Wu family helps them, they can definitely prosper. He then tells Lan, "Lan, please seat Miss Wu. This is how we should treat our guests." Lei then complains again, "Grandpa, you know that all these problems are because of Lan. If this was because of me, you would have left me to die in front of the Zhang family by now. But since it's about Lan, you are being very gentle with him." Annoyed, Lan says, "I have been trying to keep my mind calm, but these people have completely ruined it. As long as these people are alive, they will keep causing problems. Today, I'll finish them and end all the problems." Miss Wu interjects, "Lan, remember that you are now the owner of all-time company. Your company's only job is to maintain the power balance between cultivators and common people. If you use your power to destroy the entire Lai family, it would be completely wrong, wouldn't it? Please remember your identity and spare them." Lan thinks to himself that it seems Miss Wu came here to save these people. He decides that he shouldn't get angry because no matter what, they are still his family members. He then asks the grandfather, "What is the price of your Lai corporation?" The grandfather replies, "Well, its value used to be 100 billion, but now it has fallen to 20 billion. Lan says, "I am offering you 30 billion to buy the company. Transfer Lai Corporation to my name right now." Laughing, Lei says, "From where will this beggar get money?" Miss Wu then says, "Leon, I've transferred the money. This isn't a loan, it's my wedding dowry for you." Meanwhile, Leon says, "The money has arrived. Let's sign the contract now." After signing the papers, Leon says, "The Luan Corporation is mine now, so there's no need for you to badmouth my company anymore." Lei says, "You've bought a company that's on the verge of bankruptcy. You may be the owner with a 51% share, but what's the point of being the owner of a ruined company? We now have a full 30 billion in our hands. With this money, the Luan family can live comfortably for years. But what will happen to you now, Leon? To repay Miss Wu's debt, you'll have to be reborn at least 10 times. Miss Wu, No matter how clever you may be, I must say one thing. You made a huge mistake in choosing a partner for yourself. If you had chosen a normal person, you wouldn't have suffered such a huge loss. Miss Wu says, we'll soon find out who's clever and who's a fool. Grandpa says, Miss Wu, the whole drama of our house is over. There's nothing more special to see here. Miss Wu laughs and says, the show hasn't even started yet. When it does, all of you will be left in the dark. Just then, the secretary enters and says, Boss, there's great news. Suddenly, our company's shares have started to rise. In 1 hour, our company's valuation went from 20 billion to 100 billion again. And if this valuation keeps increasing, we'll soon become a company with a $500 billion valuation. Our Lin family will once again become the most powerful family in this city. Shocked, Lei and Grandpa say, What? The valuation is increasing? Miss Wu laughs and says, a company that was about to touch 500 billion was sold for just 30 billion. Truly, only some geniuses can do this. They were happy to sell such an expensive company for such a low price. Leon says, there's no point in wasting time with these fools. Now we need to work on our Luan Corporation again to reach the top once more. Grandpa says, Leon, wait a second. I need to talk to you about something. Leon says, I'm removing all the Luan family members from the positions they've taken in the company. I'm giving you 3 days to take all your stuff and clear out of the Luan Corporation. If people like you stay in the company, you'll ruin it again. Don't ever show your faces around the Luan Corporation after today. Meanwhile, we see Yuhua, who has come to her dad. Yuhua says, Dad, there's a huge problem. Gangbei's dad says, Are you my daughter? Isn't that in itself a big problem? What could be bigger bad news or a problem than that? Yuhua says, Dad, our company's shares are falling at a very high speed. Our shares have already dropped by 50 billion. Shocked, Gangbei's dad says, That's impossible. Our shares will only fall when the Luan family's shares rise. Yuhua says, By the way, Dad, I forgot to tell you. The daughter of the Wu family gets along very well with Leon, and I think if their shares are rising, then the Wu family must have helped them. Yuhua's dad slaps her and says, You fool! You're telling me this now? If the Wu family was behind the Luan family, then why didn't you tell me about this before? And I told you to become friends with Miss Wu at any cost. You foolish girl, you couldn't even do this job. You always come to me for a place in the company, but when it comes to doing a job, you can't do it. Honestly, the day I wake up and see your face, my whole day gets ruined. Yuhua thinks, when was I told to become friends with Miss Wu? I made the efforts to befriend her on my own. Zhangpai's dad is talking. Yuva, if you say one more thing, I won't be able to control myself. Just sit here quietly and stop using your brain, because it doesn't work anyway. Yuva sits and thinks, just because I'm a girl, I have to tolerate all this humiliation. Zhang Bai says, Sister, honestly, I feel really bad for you. I'm telling you this out of concern. You're a girl, and you'll get married into a very good family. When you marry into a good family, we'll get support anyway. You'll help with cooperation. So why do you keep messing with Dad? You know how much he gets annoyed with you. Yuva stands up and says, I will not give up until I show Dad what my worth is. Until then, I will continue to work for the Zhang family like this. Zhang Bai says, Sister, there's no point in trying to explain this to you. I'll just pray to God that your troubles in life lessen a bit. Then, Yuva goes outside and calls Len. Yuva says, I need to talk to you about something very important. Yuva then goes to the park to meet Len. Len says, Yesterday you said you would never meet me again in your life. What happened? You couldn't stop yourself from meeting me for even one day? Yuva says, You're joking after you destroyed my family? Len says, Look, I had no intention of destroying them, but if someone comes to destroy me, I won't sit by peacefully either. Yuva asks, What was the condition under which Miss Hu agreed to help you? Len says, Do you know there's something called friendship, where people would even die for each other? So helping is a very small thing. You're a girl. I know you must have something cunning going on in your mind, but don't worry, I didn't sell my body for this help. Yuva says, Why don't I have friends like that? Sitting, Len says, Don't take this the wrong way, but you are a very two-faced person, and two-faced people never have friends. Yuva says, Len, I came here to tell you that I'm ready to be your girlfriend. Len says, But when did I ever ask you to be my girlfriend? Yuva says, Look, don't act. If you leave my gang family alone, I'll become your girlfriend. Standing up, Len says, Every time I meet you, you always disappoint me. What diamonds are you made of that I should be dying for you? You're an ordinary girl that you can find on every street corner, yet you act like you're not. Yuva says, You always wanted me to be your girlfriend, didn't you? If you don't want this, then tell me what you want in exchange for leaving the Zhang family alone. Len says, now you're talking business. If you can get me 51% of the Yang family's shares, I'll definitely leave you all alone. Yuva shouts, you're asking for too much. This is absolutely impossible. How can I get you the ownership of the company? As he leaves, Len says, if you don't have the authority, then why did you even come to talk? Next time, only come to talk when you have the authority. The scene changes. We are shown a scene at All-Time Company. Chairman Lu Sheng is speaking. Miss Wu, Lannon was just seen with Miss Yua. Miss Wu says, is that so? Chairman Lu Sheng says, as far as I know, you like Lannon. Aren't you worried at all after hearing that he's with a girl? Miss Wu replies, that's not important right now. Tell me, is Uncle safe? Chairman Lu Sheng says, yes, he was attacked, but we rescued him in time. We're bringing him back now. By the way, Miss Wu, if Lannon met with Yua, they must have discussed the Jung Group's operations. If Lannon falls for their tricks, don't you think all your hard work will be for nothing? Miss Wu says, what do you think? Did you really think I hadn't considered all of this? I know what he's doing right now. Chairman Lu Sheng says, why aren't you saying anything? Your dad is quite angry about what happened recently. Our family isn't gaining anything by getting involved in the affairs of the Lanart and Jung families. Miss Wu says, let him be angry, I'll handle him. And as for Lannon, I know he'll get a good profit from the Jung family. He just made one mistake here. He should have held this meeting with Zabai, not Yua. I'll get my revenge on him for this when his dad arrives. The chairman laughs. I knew you cared a lot about Lannon. Just then, Hong Li rushes in saying, Chairman, we have a problem. The Jung family has hired the assassin from the White Order set, and as far as we know, an attack on Lannon and his family is imminent. The chairman says, if Lannon is attacked, we'll handle it. Station our guards around his family's residence. The scene changes. We see Zabai's father sitting in a restaurant. Zabai's father says, Brother Lu, we've been friends for years. You know my company is facing some problems. Can you help me deal with the Wu family? As soon as he hears the name of the Wu family, Brother Lu hangs up. Zabai's dad gets angry and says, all my friends turned out to be two-faced. I've helped them so many times, but now when I need help, no one is willing to step up. And all of this is because of the Wu family. Their influence is so incredible that no one is coming forward to help us. It looks like I'll have to get help from old Wang now. He then makes a call saying, Brother Wang, I'm ready to agree to your terms. Can we meet tomorrow? Bring your son, and I'll bring Yua. I'm sure my Yua will like your son. Just then, Sentis sits down next to him. Sentis says, Mr. Zheng, I have to hand it to you. You paid a hefty sum to hire me. Mr. Zheng says, what I've paid you so far is nothing. I can pay you even more for the real job. Sentis says, how much do you think I'd charge for more work? Mr. Zheng says, I want the Lanart family to be completely wiped out. For that, I can pay you $50 million. And Sentis, if you agree to this, I can double your fee. Sentis says, my fee just for meeting you is $10 million. Do you really think I'd do the job for $50 million? I'd need at least $200 million. Mr. Zheng says, are you talking about $200 million? That's not a problem. We can pay you that. Sentis says, you think too small. I was talking about $2 billion. For that much money, we can erase the Lanart family's name forever. Not a single person from their family will be left. By the way, Mr. Zheng, you were talking about another type of service. Do you still want that service? Mr. Zheng says, for that, I can pay you more than $2 billion. Sentis says, not $2 billion, but I want your life. Just for thinking about me, your life could have been the price. I'm only sparing you because you're my client. Transfer the money by tomorrow morning, or I don't know about the Lanart family, but your family will definitely be wiped out. Mr. Zheng then called Yuhua to meet with the Wang family. Yuhua says, Dad, to save us from Sipo, the Wang family is asking for a lot. We don't need to agree to their conditions. Mr. Zheng says, it's a good thing this is a restaurant, or I would have slapped you right here. Do as I say. No need to use your brain. To be honest, if I wasn't here, your fate wouldn't be any different than that son of a bitch. You have options now, but at that time, you would be living just to serve the Sipo, and I know that the people of the Zheng family will be nothing but a bunch of butter-ups in your hands. Just then, the Wang family arrives. Mr. Zheng says, Mr. Wang, it's a pleasure to meet you. Wang says, so this is Yuhua, right? She was so little the last time I saw her. Look how big she has gotten now. Wang Sha, what are you doing? Go and greet your uncle right now. Wang Sha says, Uncle, it's a pleasure to meet you, and Yuhua, you too. Just then, a waitress makes a mistake while serving and spills water on Wang's head. The waitress says, "Sir, please forgive me." Wang Sha says, "It's okay, you can go." Mr. Zeng says, "I have to say, Wang Sha, you are a very calm person. You know, if just this much water had fallen on Zheng Wei's hands, he would have torn the whole restaurant apart, but you let that waitress go so easily." Wang says, "Uncle, even if that waitress works her whole life, she won't be able to afford these clothes. So what can I do by getting angry at her? She has already ruined my clothes, and if my mood also gets spoiled because of her, she will never be able to compensate for this. That's why I let such people go." Uncle Zeng says, "I have to admit, Brother Wang, your son will go very far. I have seen very few such sharp kids at this young age." Uncle Wang says, "Brother, we should talk by going higher up. Anyway, we have brought the kids here to meet each other." Wang Sha says, "What is there to talk about? I have no problem with Yuhua. Even if you say to get married tomorrow, I have no problem. By the way, we had a very big doubt in our minds, but we can lower the conditions for Yuhua. 51% of Zeng's corporation will be enough for us." Mr. Zeng says, "Isn't this too much? You are asking for our entire company." Wang Sha says, "No, uncle, that's not the case at all. If it was the first condition, we wouldn't have opened our mouths so wide, but now the Wei family is standing against the company. Who knows if your Zeng corporation will even see tomorrow morning? In this regard, what we have asked for is very little. We can reduce it for Yuhua. We only need 40%, but we will not agree to even 1% less than that." Then, Yuhua says in an irritated voice, "Shut your mouth. I am not some item on which such a huge discount is being put. And when did I say that I am ready to marry you?" Mr. Zeng says, "Yuhua, what are you saying?" Yuhua says, "Dad, you can't shut me up now. Wang Sha, listen to me carefully. I don't like you at all. I would prefer to marry some son of a BTC, but I will never marry a guy like you. And yes, if you have any self-respect left, please don't follow me." Saying this, Yuhua comes out of the hotel. Yuhua says while on a call, "Len, are you free? I will wait for you at the gang hotel tonight." Then, our Yuhua arrives at the gang hotel. Yuhua says to Swang, "Len is a better match, and now I can clearly see what I need to do next." Just then, a call from Brother Zheng Wei comes on Yuhua's phone. Zheng Wei says while screaming, "Sister, have you gone crazy? You have only asked for one thing from us to this day, which is a position in the Zeng Corporation, and today we are ready to give 40% to your husband. So you are having a problem? By refusing the Wang family, you are destroying our Zeng Corporation." Yuhua says, "I know what I am doing. You are a kid, so stay a kid." Zheng Wei says, "You didn't go to meet that Len, did you? Even if our corporation gets destroyed, there is no need to ask him for help." Just then, Yuhua cuts Zheng Wei's call, and at the same time, Len also arrives there. Leon says, "Miss Yuer, if anyone finds out that I came to meet you at the hotel, my reputation will be ruined for no reason. Can you tell me why you called me to a place like this?" Yuer says, "I didn't come here to talk about the company today. Let's sit and have a drink together." Leon is shocked and says, "Are you really Yuer? Yuer never talks without a reason." Yuer says, "Look, I'm ready to give you 10% of the shares." Leon says, "Oh, so you have the authority to talk now?" Yuer sits down next to Leon and says, "Yes, now I can make my own decisions." Leon says, "Look, no matter what, 10% is too little." Yuer says, "What would happen with 10%? I could be with you too." Leon pushes Yuer and says, "Have you gone crazy? You must have drunk too much. You can't be Yuer." Yuer says, "Look, I'm not kidding. If you agree to 10%, I can be yours." Saying this, she kisses Leon right there. Leon says, "I still need 20%. Yuer says, "Fine, then the deal is done." We then see that an 18-plus pulse has happened between them. Leon asks, "Do your dad know that you're with me?" Yuer says, "No, he's probably with those foolish Wang family people. And to be honest, I've given up on my family. No matter how much I ask them for, they won't give me anything. Anyway, Leon, don't forget your promise. I've made a very big bet on you." Then Leon makes a call and says, "Jiafeng, our matter with the Zheng family has been resolved. I've resolved everything by taking 20% of their company." As soon as the call ends, Yuer hugs Leon, and the 18-plus pulse continues. Meanwhile, we see Yuer's dad, who is constantly calling Yuer. Mr. Gang says, "Brother Wang, I apologize. Yuer was a little moody, which is why she left." Wang Sha says, "No problem, uncle. We are one family now. We can understand each other." It's just that when we sit here next time, the deal won't end at 40%. Annoyed, Mr. Zheng says, the Yiwang family are big bastards. There's no point in hoping for anything from them. It seems I will have to take help from Santis. Saying this, he transfers 2 billion. Santis says, the time has come to get to work. Then a person comes to Santis and says, Lily, are you really going to attack the Lian family? Santis says, yes, what's the problem? All the other people in the Lionheart family are quite weak. Only one, Lian Lionheart, is quite powerful. The other person says, you know he alone is enough to finish all of us. He has already finished 2 of our elders. By messing with a person like him, you will only bring harm to yourself and nothing else. Santis says, Brother Kali, sometimes I don't understand how our elders chose a coward like you as the acting head. Not only your height, but your heart is also very small. Leon is alone, and we have so many powerful people. Do you think he will survive our hands? And besides, you know we need money to run the sect. On one hand, those bastard overtime company people are after us, working overtime just to destroy us. On top of that, without money, we won't be able to survive with these people. So, if you don't want to attack Leon Lionheart, then tell me how we can earn money. Kali says, I don't know if we will be destroyed due to lack of money or not, but after messing with Leon Lionheart, we will definitely be destroyed. Santis says, you are a #1 coward. If I hadn't promised my elders that I would consider you the acting head, I would have finished you right here and now. The next day, the scene shifts to outside the hotel. Leon is walking out and complaining that his back hurts. Suddenly, he gets a message on his phone from Hong Li. Leon says, the Leon family is in danger. I have to get back to the company as soon as possible. Looking at Leon, Hong Li says, it seems you worked hard yesterday. It's a shame you have to go back to work so early in the morning. Leon replies, I'm the owner of your company now, and you're still keeping an eye on me? Hong Li says, our job is to keep an eye on every powerful person, and you're the most powerful person in our territory. Don't worry, we won't tell Miss Wu anything about your personal life. As he gets into a car, Leon says, so, you messaged me that the Leon family was going to be attacked. Now tell me, what's going to happen next? Hong Li replies, we started our work early this morning to save the Leon family. We're sending some of our cleaning department guys to clean up the Lion family's mess. Lion says, that's good to hear. Hong Li says, working overtime at this company has a lot of benefits. No employee's family has ever been harmed while working here. So, since you're our owner, imagine how bad it would look if someone even touched your family. Leon asks, by the way, where is Jia Feng? Hong Li says, I don't know anything about her. The last thing she asked me was when your dad was coming back to the city. After that, she left. Leon says, that means she went to pick up my dad. Do you know when his flight lands? Hong Li replies, I think they're on their way home right now. Don't worry, we have some people to handle their security. Lion says, those people aren't capable enough to stop the White Lotus sect. I'm sure the Zhang family paid them extra to kill my dad. Meanwhile, we see Miss Wu and Leon's dad driving home. They're talking about Lion when suddenly some cars start following them. Uncle Chen says, Miss, please hold on tight. I'm going to speed up. He then drifts the car and hits one of the pursuing vehicles. Uncle Chen says, what did they think? That they could catch my car? I was drifting cars when they were still playing with toy cars, and because of that, I won today. But then, the sorceress attacks them with her needles. To avoid the attack, Uncle Chen gets out of the car. He says, Miss, please take Uncle Lion and go home. I'll hold these people off. The sorceress laughs and says, oh, you'll stop us? Last time, you and that Xiao couldn't do anything together, so what can you do alone? Lion's dad says, who are you people? Our Lion family has never offended any martial arts sect, so why are you attacking us? The sorceress replies, you're right. We have no enmity with you. This is a matter of money. We've stooped so low for some money that we've taken a contract to destroy your entire family, and we're starting with you. Miss Wu says, Uncle, these people are from the White Lotus sect. The Zhang family hired them to kill you. The sorceress says, personally, I didn't even want to attack you, but I got $2 billion for your life. Your life is probably only 10 more years. If you don't live, what difference does it make? At least someone will get this money. And you, girl from the Wu family, we have no business with you. But if you get in our way, I can't guarantee your life. Miss Wu says, you know, people as powerful as you aren't even allowed to mop the floors at my house, and you think you can scare me here? Jia, come out quickly and teach this sorceress a lesson. I know you've been watching everything secretly. Just then, Jia emerges with his men. Xiao says, I have some unfinished business with the sorceress today. I'll settle all the scores today. The sorceress says, you guys are back for another beating? If you want to fight, call Lion. Nothing will happen with just the two of you. Xiao says, Senior brother, she's underestimating us Yungi sect people. Last time she attacked us with her snake, but this time that's not going to happen. Just then, the sorceress attacks them with her needles. Xiao lunges forward and says, your artifacts won't always save you. Uncle Chen attacks her from below, but the sorceress dodges both of their attacks at once. Xiao says, we won't let you touch the ground, so how will you dodge our attacks? But the sorceress thrusts her needle right through his body. Xiao says, she's so cruel, she tricked me again. Then, the sorceress throws a needle at Uncle Chen, pinning him down as well. Uncle Chen says, her real level is much higher than ours. Now I understand why we can't fight back. Xiao screams, Jiafeng, run away from here quickly. This girl is much more powerful than us. The sorceress says, I gave you the chance to run away before. Now everyone present here will die. Just before her attack hits Miss Wu, Lion arrives and stops the attack. Lion says, this is Yardong City, and people's lives are taken here only with my permission. What did you think, that you could lay a hand on my family in this city? Now you should think about how you're going to survive. Sante says, if this were a battle of dialogues, you'd have definitely won, but this is a matter of power. Moving on, Lion says, when it comes to dialogues and power, you're nothing in front of me. I'll dig your grave right here, and after that, the entire Jack family's. Uncle Chain says, Lion, be careful. His needles are very powerful. Just then, Lion throws Santis's needles back at him and says, these needles are just toys. Who can get hurt by a toy like this? The needles then go around Santis's body. Shocked, Santis says, are you at the int level? Lion says, you took too long to figure that out. Then Santis feels heavy. Santis says, how can such a powerful person exist in this region? As far as I know, only Conjure people used to live in Yadong City. Preparing to attack, Lion says, looks like you forgot one thing. You can't leave this place without my permission. Santis says, I have to do something, otherwise he'll kill me. Saying this, Miss Woe attacks Lion, and to save her, Lion doesn't attack Santis. Seeing all this, Kaylee says, I have to hand it to this kid. He shocked even me. He's the first person in 1,000 years to reach the int level. Does this mean that Had's energy is about to return? Then Uncle Leonard says, are you really my son, Lion? He wasn't that powerful. Then, yelling at Miss Woe, Lion says, are you crazy? Don't you know my family is about to be attacked? Why did you go with Dad? Then, acting, Miss Woe says, I'm trying my best to get you to like me, but you only like that terrible Yuva. Then she goes to Lion's dad and says, why is your son so mean? Lion's dad says, don't worry, I'll teach this scoundrel a lesson. Lion says, Miss Woe, we're just friends, right? Why are you acting like this in front of my dad? Lion's dad says, you just showed your power. Now I'll show you mine. No one in the Land family has ever cheated, and now you're going to? Saying this, Lion's dad shows his muslat face. Lion says, there's nothing like that. Meanwhile, Miss Woe says, this is your punishment for meeting other girls without asking me. Lion's dad says, I know you're very strong, but you can at least pretend to get hit, right? Lion says, yes, Dad, it really hurts. Then Miss Woe tells Lion's dad, you are truly the best uncle in this entire world. Sometimes it feels like, I don't know how, but a bad person like Lion became the son of a good person like you. Lion says, Miss Woe, you're talking too much. Then, acting, Miss Woe says, Uncle, did you see? He started doing the same thing again. Moving on, Uncle taps Lion again. Uncle says, you should never talk to girls like that. Lion says, Dad, I'm not kidding. Are we really just friends? Lion's dad says, look, I know you have everything a girl likes, and that's why it's normal for you to have a lot of girls behind you. I just want Miss Woe to be the only one who comes to our house. You keep everyone else away from the house. Lion says, okay, Dad. There's no point in explaining, so I'll just agree with you. Lion's dad says, I'll make it clear. Will that Jiafeng become our daughter-in-law? Come on, Jiafeng, let's go home. Lion thinks, I don't know what lies she told Dad on the way. No matter how much I try, Dad won't believe me now. Meanwhile, Jihao, crying, thinks, my childhood crush betrayed me right in front of my eyes. Leon says, Jihao, it's good you came here. I need to talk to you about something. Jihao says, but I don't want to talk to you. What do you think? You've taken everything from me and now you expect me to talk to you? Lion says, this is why Jihao doesn't like you. Anyway, I came here to talk about something important. To be honest, I need some crucial information from you. Jihao says, you're the owner of the overtime company, and you're still asking me? What kind of information would your company not have? Lion says, there are many things that are being hidden from me, and the overtime company people will never bring those things to me. That's why I need to know about those things from you. Jihao says, look, I'm not your servant. I'm not going to tell you. Then Lion picks up a stone and throws it right through a piece of iron. Lion says, your body isn't tougher than this iron, is it? Are you going to tell me, or should I try the same thing on you? Then our Lion throws a very dangerous punch towards Jihao. Jihao says, brother Lion, I was just kidding. You got serious. Then we see that Lion's punch wasn't for Jihao, but for the person standing behind him. Lion says, he's more powerful than that Santes. Kid, who are you? Then Kaylee says, I knew Lily didn't have a chance against you. I told him not to fight you, but he still came to clash with you. Brother Lion, let me introduce myself. My name is Lily, the acting head of the White Lotus sect. Pulling out his sword, Lion says, you people don't want to learn. That Santes left, and now you've arrived. But your luck won't be as good as his that you'll escape from here. Then Kaylee says, you're misunderstanding me. I didn't come to fight. To be honest, we both have the same destination. So I believe it's not beneficial to fight, but to join hands. Saying this, he gives Lion a card. Lion says, an address is written on this. Callie says, this is the address where you'll find Leo's people. Leon says, you came here to get your own sect Saintus killed? You betrayed your own people. How can I trust you? Besides, you're from the White Lotus sect. It's possible you've laid a trap for me. Kaylee says, don't you know there are 2 factions in our White Lotus sect? One of them is led by the Saintess, and those people will never want me to be the sect leader. You could say that the Saintess is the biggest thorn on my path to becoming a leader, and I want to remove this thorn once and for all. Now, she's a problem for you too, so we both benefit from killing her together. Look, I'm not as foolish as that Saintess to mess with powerful people. If I befriend a powerful person like you, it will be beneficial for me in the future. All right, Leon, I'll be on my way now. By giving you this address, I've shown my sincerity. Don't reveal your true colors by betraying me. Just then, Leon steps forward and delivers a devastating kick to Kaylee. Kaylee says, Leon, what's wrong? Why did you attack me? Are you seriously inviting enmity with our White Lotus sect? Leon says, only my friends have the right to call me brother. People like you call me Lord or Dad. And what do you think? You'll just show up, say your piece, and I'll just sit here like your servant and listen to you? You were leaving without hearing me out and without my permission. Did you think I'd let that slide so easily? Kaylee says, what are you talking about? Leon says, everyone knows that what matters in this world is power and influence. The more power someone has, the more respect they get. And here you are, nothing more than a worm in a gutter compared to me, giving me orders and walking away. You can't even stand on equal ground with me, so what made you think you could boss me around? You're lucky I only kicked you and didn't kill you. Otherwise, your ticket would have been punched right here. Kaylee thinks, he's right. He's very powerful. I shouldn't have messed with such a dangerous and powerful person. Apologizing, Kaylee says, forgive me. I shouldn't have been so arrogant in front of you. Lord Leon, I need to form an alliance with you. I gave you the address, and I have many more secrets to tell you. Do you know why Earth's energy has depleted so much? The Earth used to be very powerful, and we can bring that energy back. I'm sure you'll help us revive Earth's energy. Okay, Lord Leon, I've said what I needed to say. I'm leaving now. Just then, Leon says, did I give you permission to leave? You're trying to do the same thing again, saying what you want, and then trying to leave. Look, I'm normally very busy, and I don't have time for small-time things, but your White Lotus sect has been bothering me and wasting my time, so they have to compensate me for it. All things considered, it comes out to at least 10 million. Give it to me right now. You're the acting head of the White Lotus sect. You must have plenty of money. Look, I know you don't want to become my enemy, so just transfer the money quickly. Irritated, Kaylee says, Lord Leon, you're going too far. Leon says, yes, I am. Do you want to fight me? Do you know I have a company called Overtime Company? If I take you there, you'll be treated as a chief guest. Tell me, should I let them know you're here? Do you know that if I wanted to, you couldn't move, and after they arrive, you'd be in jail for the rest of your life? Kaylee gives Leon the money. Kaylee says, don't tell the Overtime Company about me. Our situation is already bad because of them. If they come here, we won't have any chance of surviving. Leon says, at least you're much smarter than that saintess. Kaylee says, there's no password for this card, and it has 10 million on it. I hope the next time we meet as friends. Jiahu says, Leon, honestly, you're a very powerful person. Why do you care so much about money? Normally, such powerful masters don't care about money at all. Leon says, even if I told you, you wouldn't understand. That's why I'm not going to explain it to you. Leon thinks, it's been a while since I've seen Yulin. I should go see what she's up to. Lan comes to his mansion and sees Yulin practicing. Lan thinks, I have to admit, in just a few days she's become a half-style Grand Master. If she had a good amount of energy, she would be much more powerful by now. Such changes are very rare in the DT world. While practicing, Yulin thinks, young master is very powerful. If I want to stay with him forever, I have to be as powerful as him, or else he'll be forced to leave me behind. Just then, Lan approaches and says, you're moving the sword too harshly. Honestly, don't use your mind when you move the sword. Just follow the direction your hands are taking it. Feel that your sword and your body are one. Yulin says, young master, you've explained this to me so many times, but no matter how hard I try, I just can't do it. Lan says, it takes people years to master this, and you've learned this technique so well in just a few days. If you could master it so quickly, you wouldn't be a genius, you'd be a monster. Yulin says, young master, I don't care about being a genius. I just want to stay with you. Lan says, I want us to never be separated either. That's why it's so important for you to become powerful. We'll solve all the matters here soon, and then we'll have to go to a new place to settle some scores with some new people. But until then, you don't need to take on so much pressure. We still have a lot of time before we have to go there. Just then, we see Lei and his mom have arrived below the building. Lei says, Mom, this is the place where that scoundrel lives with Yulin. Even if you give the keys to heaven to a worm, it'll still live in a gutter. Even after becoming the owner of the Moo Corporation, that idiot is living here. Lei's mom says, hurry up, I can't breathe here. I don't know how this Lan can live in such a shabby place. Then Lei and his mom arrive at Lan's place. Lan is saying to Yulin, I'm very happy that you've improved so much. If you keep putting in this much effort, you'll definitely master this technique one day. Yulin says, I'll do anything to make young master happy. Just then, Lei's mom says, you people are shamelessly talking about these things. You really have no shame. Lan says, you're the one who has no shame, coming here after being so humiliated. Quickly, tell me what you want from me. Lei's mom says, we are your guests. Are you not even going to invite us inside? Truly, there's no one more ill-mannered than you and our Lannard family. Lan says, guests have arrived, but I don't see any guests here. All I see are some troublemakers who are not welcome in my house. Just then, Yulin says, young master, we should go inside and talk. Lan says, no, Yulin. These people aren't worthy of that much respect. I bought their company from these shameless people a few days ago, and now that the share prices have gone up, they must have come to ask for shares. Lei's mom says, do you know the family head has returned? Give the shares back immediately. It'll be better for you. Lan says, don't threaten me with the family head. He's my dad, and I know him well. He won't have any problem with me having the company's shares. Besides, I paid you poor people for them, so you have no right to the shares. Lei says, you're from the Lannard family, and whatever is yours is ours. So stop with the nonsense and give us half the shares. When you're going to live in this shabby house with these shabby people, what do you need the money for anyway? And besides, if your body has my father's good blood, it also has the filthy blood of a servant. You're not even worthy to stand in front of me. Still, out of respect for my Lannard family, I'm talking to you. Just then, Yulin steps forward and slaps Lei. Lei says, how dare a maid slap me? Yulin slaps Lei again and says, I work for young master, not for you. If you talk to my young master like that, a slap is a small thing. I'll beat you to a pulp. Crying, Lei says, Mom, she hit me. Do I not even have this much respect in my family that a maid can slap me? Grabbing Lan's collar, Lei's mom says, how dare you let my son get slapped? It seems I need to show you who I am. Meanwhile, Lan thinks, Yulin did a great job today. It would be even more fun if she slapped him twice more. Anyway, it's good that Yulin isn't scared anymore like before. As her young master, it's my responsibility to boost her courage. Then Lan grabs both Lei and his mom by the collar. Lan says, do you know we're on the second floor right now? If someone falls from here, not even their bones will be left. Lei's mom says, are you trying to kill us in broad daylight? Lan says, no, why would I kill you? You're my family. Today I'm going to show you what happens after jumping from the 16th floor. Then Lan jumps from the 16th floor with both of them. Lan says, "I've got you. Don't worry. At most, you'll just break your arms and legs." Then Lan puts them in a car. Lan says, "When you get home, tell Dad to keep these two in check. Otherwise, if I get out of control, these two will never return home. I've taught them a lesson so they'll never come back here. But still, give Dad my message." The driver says, "Yes, young master. I'll tell him." At the same time, the driver thinks, "I saw him jump from the 16th floor with them. How did they survive? That young master, who I've seen being abused his whole life, how can he be so powerful? I used to mock him too, but I'll never make that mistake again." Yulin asks, "Young master, is this punishment enough for them?" Yan replies, "Don't worry. From now on, they won't have a single peaceful night. It'll take them years to get over this trauma. And maybe this is the last time they'll bother us, because whenever they even think about approaching us, they'll remember this scene on the floor. Anyway, Yulin, you should go and rest. I have something to do. I'll be back after I'm done." Then, Loon gets into a taxi and heads to the address given by Kali. After arriving at the address, Loon says, "I've lived for thousands of years and gained a lot of experience. And I've only learned one thing. If you have absolute power, no trap or scheme can harm you. Kali sent me here to kill the head of the center so she could clear her path in the White Lotus sect, but I know that the White Lotus sect is full of scumbags. If you trust anyone in a sect like that, you're the biggest fool of all." Meanwhile, a shouting Mr. Zheng says, "Saint, you said the Lian family wouldn't see the light of day, but they're living their lives peacefully. Is this how you work after taking money from people?" Saint replies, "I didn't know the Lian family was protected by the Aura Time Company. Give me a little more time, and the job will be done." Moving forward, Zheng says, "How much more time do you want? We'll give you time, but will the market give us time? Don't think that just because you have a pretty face, I'll let you go. If there's any trouble with my Zheng Corporation, I won't spare you. If you don't have money for compensation, you'll have to compensate with your body." Saint replies, "So you'll take compensation from me, and to show your power, you've put your hand on my feet? Do you know the last person who did this was 3 years ago? And if you want to meet him now, you'll have to dig 7 feet into the ground." Just then, pushing his son, Mr. Zheng says, "Are you crazy? You'll mess with Saint and get your whole family destroyed?" Zheng Bai says, "Dad, why are you suddenly respecting women so much? She's just a normal girl like my sister, and it's the Zheng family's custom not to respect women." Mr. Zheng says, "Saint, he's a complete idiot. Don't pay attention to what he says. I'm ready to increase the price. Please forgive him just this once." Meanwhile, Saint says, "I hate people with this kind of mentality." Saint then remembers working for her master 3 years ago. Crying, Saint says, "Master, I considered you my father. Even after that, why are you doing this to me?" Her master says, "You know the White Order sect is our family's heritage. And because of this, it's the duty of every lady working in the White Order sect to serve us. You know, becoming a saint doesn't mean you have to handle outside responsibilities. The other boys will do that. Your only role is to please your master." Grabbing her master's collar, Saint says, "But why are you doing all this? You don't have a shortage of women, do you?" Her master punches her and says, "You have a very pretty face. If you didn't, you would never be in the White Lotus sect. You know, before your father died, he told me to take care of you, and I'm just fulfilling my duty. Remember, in the eyes of a real man, women are nothing. You're just an object for me to be happy with. You have no other existence besides this. The sooner you understand this, the better it will be for you." In the present, Saint says, "You know, your character is exactly like the person I hate the most. Now answer my question, or I'll kill you. Did you like me because I have a pretty face?" Nervously, Zheng Bai says, "Yes, you are very beautiful, but I don't have any bad intentions toward you. I see you as a goddess." Zheng also thinks, "This is the first time I've seen a girl that scares me. It feels like one wrong answer could erase me from existence." Saint says, "Mr. Zheng, your son thinks so little of me. Now you tell me what should be done with your son. Why can't a real man stand by his words?" Then Mr. Zheng says, "Saint, please, in exchange for forgiving him, accept 100 million. Saint says, 100 million? That's too little. It seems not only the son but also the father underestimates me. Maybe he was right. Your family doesn't value women at all." Then Mr. Zheng says, "I'm ready to give you 1 million. Please forgive him." Walking away, Saint says, "It's a good thing I need the money, or this wouldn't have ended here with money. Still, this idiot needs to be punished." Saying this, she attacks Zheng's private parts and destroys them. Shouting, Mr. Zheng says, "What have you done? You promised you wouldn't kill my son, but you ruined his future. Saint says, look, I promised I wouldn't kill him, but it was important to teach him a lesson. Now I'm confident that he will become a very good person in his life.